when you beat the Demon King, but it's touching on the rare aspect of something I haven't seen, honestly, probably since Lord of the Rings, since because most manga don't even try to attempt to touch it, of elves live really long lives. So what does it mean for them after their human companions disappear? And just having to deal with stuff like
It's
that. So I
interesting.
thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, because they don't do that enough. The Lord of the Rings, that's
Watch
kind
how
of a
you
thing
talking to
for a
me.
certain
Watch
character.
how
It's
you
just like,
talking
oh,
to
her husband passed
me.
away.
Watch how you
And it's like,
talking to
yeah, elves, if you think
me.
about it,
Watch how
elves
you
live
talking.
very long lives compared to humans.
Watch how
We
you
might live
talking to
100 years
me.
if you're lucky.
Watch how you talking to
Probably closer to 30,
me.
35.
Watch
The
how you
elves
talking to
live,
me.
depending on what type of
Watch
elf,
how you
depending on the
talk.
series, at least 300 years. And
Have you ever
sometimes
seen
10,000
snowfall
years.
in six? Have you
So
ever seen
10 years for them
snowfall
is a
in
blink of an eye
six?
for
Have
about
you ever
30
seen a
years.
snowfall in six? Fall in six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in
Yeah,
six?
it's
Have
still
you ever
early. It's
seen
only
a
four
snowfall
episodes,
in
like,
six? Fall in
yeah, it's
six.
really
Have you
calm and
ever seen a
cool, and
snowfall in
the animation's
six?
really
Have you
good. It's
ever
got a
seen a
nice
snowfall
aesthetic.
in
It's early
six? Have
though.
you
I
ever
don't
seen
know
a
how much you
snowfall
really
in
took to enjoy it.
six?
Yeah, because there's
If I
levels
knew
to this.
back then what I
Added
knew
to the
right
age,
now, I'd be
there's a
on
time
right
and
now.
thing.
I'm the nigga right now. I'm the nigga right now. Got your bitch right now. Since you want it right now. Getting litty
Oh
right
hell yeah!
now. Wanna text me right now. Outside
Spoilers.
right now. Please do not
Because I
get in my
haven't.
face. You know that I'm riding no whip. I just needed my space. I drink it straight with
I hear you
no
loud and clear,
chase.
brother.
Love when you making that
Loud
face.
and clear,
Living out of
brother.
suitcase. Annie, are you okay? I fuck you good the long way. Watch how you talking to me.
Well,
Watch how you
I think
talking
there's
to
picture of
me.
her.
Watch how
I'll
you
look at a
talking
picture
to
of her from
me.
Pride and Prejudice.
Watch how you talking to
And I don't know
me.
if you ever seen it. I just figured.
Have you ever seen
Pride.
a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? She's a keeper, legs like Serena, strong like Xena,
Get in my
a
way.
screamer. She's a dancer,
ain't
money
riding
from
no way.
Atlanta. She's a cancer, phone ring, no answer. I'm getting litty, mixed dirty with the fenna. My life a movie, I always got a camera. I make a banner, she sucking my banana. Ooh,
I just, when it comes to white
nana.
women, I just like
If we never met, I'm there right now.
either
Put a
artsy
bullet in my
kind of
hair right now. Yeah, I'm living
gothic
off
type
moonlight,
vibe, really regal.
moonlight. Talking but you don't fight. About a new life. Even when I'm wrong, you know I'm still right. On another level, reach a new height. I used
I
to
like
hit the
women who
block
look
just to
like
know
they could
why.
have been born
So I
into
can't
the
bless you for my
1800s
gun
with the
mind.
finest of them all.
Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Yeah, I'm living off moonlight, moonlight. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six?
Wanna be a nigga?
What I know right
Whoever's
now.
here is here. We start. Hello, greetings,
Yeah.
salutations. Welcome to the top 30 manga. We did anime earlier today, and now we're gonna be started with the honorable mention. My honorable mention is the Memoriam of Kyoko Oki Tegami. You know what I'm saying? That's more Nishio Ishin greatness. That's my boy. This is the forgetful detectives, but long story short, she solves cases, but at the end of the day, she loses all her memories. So she like writes down shit on her body and blah blah yada yada. But the idea is that she has to solve a case in one day. There's obviously more to it, but yeah, it's
Oh, I might need to read this. This looks
it is.
interesting. I don't think I've ever seen you drop this before. Maybe you have.
I
I gotta
have
pay attention.
actually quite a bit.
Oh,
Because it's Nishio
I
Ishin,
just,
but
yeah,
there's
I've
even
never seen
there's
this
even a
one.
live action, and I've actually watched it like a J drama.
Oh, I've never seen this one. I've seen a lot of your lists, obviously, because you've done it before, but I've never seen
Yeah,
this one. I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying attention to this particular one.
yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
Okay. Yeah. I've read one of the things on your top at the very top. I'm gonna wait till you get to it. But
Mm.
I finally got around to reading that. Sure,
Hey,
at some
all right, Pat.
point.
Number 30, Hokuto
Honorable
no
mention
Ken.
first.
That is the honorable mention. I made it number 30 earlier, and then I split it down to the honorable mention because I forgot to add something. But yes,
Okay.
honorable mention, Hokuto no Ken, aka Fist of the North Star.
Did you
Real
read this
gas.
with a group chat, or did you read it on your own?
No, I read it on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real gas, hands being thrown, the weirdest sibling dynamic I think I've seen. But
Definitely strange.
hey, it's siblings, so fuck it. Great antagonist. Lao is all time
Aimo
antagonist.
Shinderu. Nani?
Yeah,
Man,
if you want to read a 80s series with really good art, this is the one.
he was a bitch. How you gonna come do that to me? Try to take my whip, and that's why he got it. He had to go. I understood everything.
You understood.
Rao is that nigga.
He said to go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Rao. Honorable mention. Was it?
Lizard, lizard.
Yes,
I have
that is you.
yeah. I have two with Senryu Sojo and Duke of Death, and the Duke of Death and his Black Maid. Senryu Sojo is just a rom com. So under the fact that the main girl can't really talk about anything, can't talk through anything except for these poems called senryus, or yeah, like through these poems. And it's a pretty just a really wholesome, cute, funny rom com series. It's a 4 coma, but the mangaka, like when it's like when they have really good art when they need to be. So when there's like some important scenes, they use it. The Duke of Death and his Black Maid is just a I think the thing that really caught me about this was the premise. In that the premise is that main character, the Duke, has basically anything he touches with the person, animal, plant, it dies. So he can never be touched in it. And the girl beside him is his mate and the girl he's in love with. So basically, he's trying to he's trying to live his life and try to get better, but he can't touch it. I think the one that really thing that really sticks out me for this is in normal rom-com series, you have a thing where the MC is always touching the main girl, or like they're physically thing, but they're not actually in love with each other right away, right? Like the physical contact is there, but they're not here. And this one's opposite. They can't touch each other, but they both know they love each other. It's just like a
Uh,
It's like a flips the dynamic of that. And it's really interesting. The main couples rise. I think the manga also develops the side couples really well. So yeah.
yeah. Okay. Vince.
All right, couple here. I got my dearest self with Malice Afterthought. Very interesting psychological. Murray's and Emanon. I didn't really know where to place it, so I just kind of want to reread it to get my thoughts together. But it'll probably go back on the top 30 after I do that. Eden
Uh,
is an endless world. Another good kind of psychological kind of I don't even know what else to call it. Just a lot of shit happening. Usogi, gambling, psychological, and How'd You Know Ippo. And I don't ever know if I'm gonna get around to rereading that, but it's been a while since I touched it. But it's one of the
Wait,
best manga.
hold on. Usogui's not ranked.
oh.
No, because it's I have interesting thing with it, but I also probably need to look at it again because it easily could have been on there, but it's parts of me kind of we talked about in the anime stream where sometimes it just like things might have went too far. It might have went too far with me, but it's a bunch of raw shit happening there. But sometimes some of the
I'm
gamble stuff was
I'm just
happening.
shocked because y'all niggas was going up for this shit when it
No,
was
no,
dropping.
no, not you niggas. I'm not part of that gang.
Don't worry.
He said, "Don't put that on me. I'm regular."
Yeah, yeah, I'm a regular guy,
I feel
but
it.
Okay,
Give us your
it's
thirty.
fair enough.
it's still
Fair
good.
enough.
Okay, so 30 for me, Bleach. All
Okay.
right, so
Let's go.
yeah,
Kubo.
this was the
Kubo.
last this was the
Kubo.
last big manga that I read basically before I basically kind of stopped reading manga for a while. Um, and I have to say, I was kind of shocked how much I was impressed with a lot of things with Kubo's writing that I didn't expect in the past before. I give him a lot more credit. I
Lever,
still
what'd you get
think
in
I
here?
don't.
Oh my
Who
god,
just
we're
got
not
here?
sleeping. We're not going to sleep
I
today.
jumped in. I saw the manga now, and I had to jump in here.
We're not going to bed
Bro,
Oh
tonight.
we're
well,
trying to
this stream
speed
going
run this
short. We're
shit.
not going 5 hours this time. Yeah, so
Yeah, that shit was
we're gonna
crazy. I'm
speed it.
sort of glad I avoided that anime one. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know,
The
that's your
theme
fault.
the theme of
But
this stream is
yeah, so Bleach
concise.
got a lot of stuff.
Brevity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bleach got a lot of things going for it. Really good. I still probably don't like the full bring arc as much as everybody else, but I think I like it probably
That
better
shit
now.
funny.
I still don't see it as like the top arc. And
Mhm.
then the first part of Thousand Year Blood War is a 10 out of 10, and then I don't know what happened. So, but overall, still really good. And Rukia is the best character in Bleach.
Rukia! All right, I'm done.
Griever, give us your honorable mention at 30.
Okie dokie. How about you come back to me while I try to find the fucking Word document that has my list?
All right.
He
Um,
hopped in unprepared.
I did. I didn't even know this was happening. Naya usually texts me, and I didn't get shit.
Nah, you,
that's
you
my
gotta
bad.
go now. It's over.
They texted me because if
Go
they
to
didn't
sleep.
text me, I'll stay
That's
in
it.
bed. I promise I wasn't getting up. Yeah. Lizard, give me a 30.
My 30 is Gamaran. This is just one of the, I think one of the first manga I read when I actually got into reading manga and not the
When
casual
you
just
became a
reading in the
manga head.
library. Yeah, my journey, my beginning when I was a manga, it's a manga junior. Uh, I think this is just raw fighting, just samurai and all these different weapons. I love the main character Gamaran. Um, I, I mean, yeah, it's just raw. They had different fighting styles, and yeah, rawness as well. The only thing is really just obviously the infamous thing, the ending. But there is a sequel that I need to get to one day. But yeah, that's all.
Oh, we got 2 weeks episodes today. So that means no, I'm quite up. We have 2 to watch. I think I watched the last one. Yeah, Gamaran. I know Vince likes that a lot too.
Yeah, so don't I know he'll pick it up. So yeah.
Pat, number 30. Hey,
Number 30, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. I read this a few years back for the first time. It always came on like the website that I was on where I was reading Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, but I never read it until like it was actually done. Extremely funny, great mentors, all of them. I like all of them.
bad
Um,
bitches. Elite thoughts.
bad, bad
It got
bitches.
Shigure. Oh my
It
gosh,
got
she
to a
make me
point where
tweak.
Matsuena he just stopped giving a fuck. Whole nipple was out. I was like,
Yep.
yes,
In the
give it to
chainmail
me.
too.
I need
Yes,
it.
sir. That's
Yeah,
a good man.
yeah.
He's feeding
But
the
yeah, the
people.
fights go crazy. It's really funny. It's a great read. I recommend it to everyone.
All right, so you're gonna see a magic trick on mine. So you see that 30? What do you see? Mashal, muscles and magic. Watch what happens when I
Oh,
refresh.
nice, nice.
My only change. Number 30 is now Al Ashi, the greatest football
Whoa.
manga I have ever experienced, and it's not close. It's not Blue
At
Lock.
I
30,
I
respect it.
I like Area no Kishi, and I read some other ones. But yeah, man, it's 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 a testament to how good it is if you can make my top 30 immediately. And this is something I only read this year. It's a huge feat because I have primacy bias, not recency bias. So I tend to care about the things that I liked for a really long time. Like you have to really beat it because it got that longevity. And Masha was also
Mm-hmm.
a testament to making it that quickly because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a big deal that it's at 30. It'll go up though
Mm-hmm.
for sure. It will,
For
but
sure.
okay.
I got it at 30 for the time being.
It is good stuff, and I don't even know nothing about football, but I was reading it's good.
Yeah. I'm gonna do 29. Later the Immortal. You guys know that I like Samura Jesus Christ. Samura. I talk about Dialogue Gelder a lot, which you will probably see later on. But shout out to Anotsu, shout out to Maki. A lot of really good fighting, good violence. The fight scene with Manji. Oh my god, that beef with Manji was crazy. And the concept of this is basically that the swordsman is literally he got these weird maggots in him that allows him to kind of like not die, but his immortality kind of gets tested later on. But it's a really good series, really good read. It's fire. It's fire. So that's my 29. Reaver, you have your list, your Word
Yep.
document.
Yeah.
All
I
right, give
pulled it
us
up.
give us your audible mention 30 and 29.
Okay, so my honorable mention is going to be Gamblefish.
Okay.
Um, I found it. I mean, yeah, it's got all the Ichi elements and stuff, but it was like high roller, like shit. Like it sort of felt like Food Wars to me, guys. You know what I mean? Like it sort of felt like that. Okay, we're starting with cooking. Okay, we're gonna be doing some dungeon dice monster shit. We're gonna be rolling dice and playing card tricks and stuff. And it was like, no, I'm gonna cut my finger off, or I'm gonna do this and that. Like shit got intense really quickly. And though the manga did what most manga do, as we've all read so many, is that they sort of fudge up the ending, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was really good. I enjoyed it. The art style was there. The shading, everything was really good, and I mean the ladies were hot. Can't complain. Um, so that's my honorable mention, and then my number 30. it's a hard pick, but I think I'm gonna choose Rave or Rave Master from Hiro Mashima. It's just because a lot of people say, Mashima, fell off and stuff like that, and maybe he did, but I read the original Rave. There were some moments that had me tearing up and stuff like that. He knew how to write like very basic shonen type battle characters, but then give them depth, and he let the story, which didn't have so much going for it, but he let the characters lead the story and their emotional attachments lead the story. And there's some characters, and back then when he killed a character, they died. It wasn't some fairy tale bullshit where nobody dies. No, he killed off characters, and he was not apologetic about it, and it hit in the feels. And yeah, so that's my 30.
I
And you
got
wanted my
around to Eden
29.
Zero, but I don't like Rave Master. I like Fairy Tale more.
That's
Eden
fair.
Zero,
That's just
I
personal.
like
Eden
fairy
Zero
tale.
raw.
I haven't
Yeah,
gotten around to
but
it. I'll well, someday.
yeah. And you wanted my 29 too.
Correct.
Mary Grave. I like that one. Or The Dead Man's Recipe, it's also called. It's a very short manga, but I love the art style. I love the concept. As you guys know from my waifu tier list, I love loyalty. I love a good, like a man and a woman who will do anything for love just because they love someone so much. And this is a dude who came back from this impossible legend. The whole premise is just basically the dead man's recipe is this recipe of all these fantastical monsters, magic ingredients to bring someone back to life. And he's on a journey to bring his wife back to life. And everyone asks, "Why do you think you can do it? It's a legend. Nobody's done it before." And he goes, "How do I know it can happen? Well, she brought me back with it." And that's the whole like crux of the story. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. There's a guy who literally, the legend is proven real in himself, and he's like, yeah, but I didn't want her to do that. I want her to live, not me. And so it's one of those things that two characters love each other so much. And I mean, it's cut very short, and they speed up a lot of it. Obviously, it wasn't very well received for some reason. I don't know why, but so it ends in about 49 chapters, I think, but really good.
I love Mary Grave. I wish it continued.
Oh,
I
another
remember.
man
I
of
remember
culture.
when everybody was talking about it. Vince 29.
Back when you called us devils, I actually wrote a review on this on my Medium. It's the only manga review I got. Plan to do more in the future. I just kind of fell off everything. But yeah, this is a story basically about the biggest piece of shit of all time. He was a rapist, an extortioner, all sorts of shit. And it's like, what if you forgot all your memories as being the biggest piece of shit of all time? Do you still deserve to like live your life now that you lost all your memories?
Oh,
So that was a
I
pretty
think I
interesting.
remember reading when you wrote on this.
Yeah, there's a pretty interesting premise, and I haven't really seen anything out of it. It's an interesting morality question. Now, if you ask me, they should have got this nigga out of here because I don't know what they were doing poking a bear. What if he did get a memory back? But I think it's really good, and I recommend it. So there you
Pat. I mean, Lizard. Sorry, 29.
Yeah, my 29 is Pluto.
Hey,
You're gonna see a
Urza,
lot of
Uzara.
yeah, you're gonna see a lot of Ursawa. Spoiler alert. This is also the first 90. Starting into the 90s. It's just a great great and interesting way, like the retelling of Astro Boy. I have not watched Astro Boy, but I can tell that Astro Boy is not, even without watching it, you can tell it's not this kind of psychological thriller. But Urzawa just does it again, taking this one story in Astro Boy and turning it into this huge, overarching, well-written story. And yeah, the anime coming out, I might watch it if I'm not lazy. But yeah,
Oh shoot, I think I'll do an anime for that. That's what's up.
go. Yeah, it just got announced.
Oh, okay, okay. Pat.
Number 29 is Toriko.
Whoa.
Toriko.
Dody,
Oh,
go.
Let's
yeah.
go.
This is not that. That fucking anime that he was just fucking. No.
I like
This
that
is the
song though. I
manga.
like that song. I like that song.
But
I wasn't hype. I
Toriko.
was trying to hype the anime. I like that song though.
Okay. I like the art style. I think it's really good. It has a pretty good cast. Honestly, I think it's kind of underrated. Fights, Cooking Festival, one of the
I
best
mean,
arcs I've ever read. One of the
it
best
is
arcs I've ever
the
read, hands
best
down.
arc in shonen. Let's be real.
It's
No,
Well,
not,
I'm not
but
well,
going
it's up
that
there.
far.
Senpai, we're
But
not doing none of that.
we
But go
can't.
ahead.
It's up there, but
It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I need to reread it.
Shout out to Zebra. Is the goat.
He is the goat.
You said Coco wrong.
Hmm. You said Coco
I
for
like
you?
it.
That's fine. I'm not mad at that. Give me 28.
28.
See.
Okay, so I too have Urasawa on the list with
Oh
Monster.
shit.
I think Monster is a story of the ultimate good versus the ultimate evil. It's very, very, very enthralling. Seeing Tenma go throughout all of Germany, Europe, whatever, treating patients that have nothing to themselves, nothing to spare. He just does it out of the kindness of his heart. And then on the flip side, you see this nigga Johan just causing chaos everywhere he goes. I'm just like, bro. It's like 1 second you're reading Temma treat somebody that's sickly, then you see next chapter you see Johan turn somebody literally insane after one conversation. It's really really jarring, but at the same time it's like, wow, I need more of this. Like I kept turning the pages. I was like, wow, this is so good. A Monster is a really good series.
It's really good. Shout out to Johan, man. Tapu. Tapu is a martial arts manga that I really like. Mixed martial arts. And it's kind of explores the kind of concept of someone who's kind of supposed to be like a natural born genius who could just kind of do anything physically, and then having to deal with somebody who specifically had trained in that sport for a long time, thus not necessarily being that gifted. And I thought that they explored the theme really well. Fortunately, I can't remember exactly what happened with the ending. I don't know if it got axed or something happened, but it didn't really
Yeah,
get a
it got like
proper.
it got like rushed or axed.
Yeah, but fights are good. I really like the main character how she looks. I like the fights. They're pretty brutal, and I like that they like it's like international. So you have like the Brazilians doing like Brazilian jiu jitsu and all kind of stuff too. So I think it was a really good read, all things considered. But yeah, the ending is the reason why it can't get any higher than it won't go any higher than this. But I really do like Tapu. Tapu is super dope.
Yep. Got it.
29 for you, Lizard. 28. Sorry.
My 28 is Zatchbell. Uh,
Hey,
yes, sir.
real
Konjiki
quick,
no
Konjiki.
real quick,
Gai.
real quick, real quick, real quick. Catch my heart, Betty Madon.
Betty Meadow.
Catch my heart, Betty. A 1 2 1 2, Betty Madon. Betty Madon. Okay,
Betty
go
Uh,
ahead.
Meadow.
I mean,
Oh, bye. Boing, boing.
Boing boing.
Mug
Dum
it,
dum dum
mug it,
dum.
mug it. Ah! Yo, when he hits that spin, yo, that spin is so clean. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Zatchbell is just it's a battle shown anime about this guy, this MC. He has a like a big ego. He meets this kind of doll like kid he can get powers out of using the book he gets
Suck it up.
and the fights he have. And man, who doesn't like a good battle shonen, man? Who doesn't like good fighting and thing? They just executes at the highest level. The fights are fire. The characters are fire. The powers are fire. It's everything about it is fire. Ending is amazing. It's everything about it. I know there's a second part that just started. I might have to check it out, but yeah, if you haven't watched Asheville, then get on and experience an
Watch.
amazing
Read that.
what?
Read it.
I'm
Watch.
not.
Be reading right
Uh,
now.
We're trying to get people to
Honestly,
read.
I like the anime too, though. But yeah,
I haven't watched anime, so I can't really co-sign the anime. But read the manga for sure. If you want a amazing battle shonen. But yeah,
Yeah,
mm.
the time to tell niggas to watch shit is over with. Read.
All right, so my 28 is Eden Zero. I think it
Nice.
brings out the best of Hiromashima's best in Fairy Tale and best in Rave Master. I think he combines both here and he does a really good job. Kraken Joe is actually one of the best villains I saw all of the 2010s, and it actually really shocked me. You've probably seen some of the panels before, but he did some shit I didn't expect, and also I think he handles space and time fairly well here, and I didn't expect that because those are very hard things to handle and do really well. And I think he actually does a pretty good job. So Mashima, when he wants to, he can be a very compelling writer. Obviously, he's still doing the friendship thing, which depending on how you feel about that, you either love it or hate it. But I think it's his best work as like right now. It's not finished yet, still going, it's all going, but I think it's really, really good. And I like all the characters, but he does have same face syndrome. So take that as you
Vince,
will.
Vince, can I ask just
It's
one
it's it's
question?
more than same face syndrome. They're the same characters. But yeah, go ahead.
Now, I just have one question because I started to read Eden Zero, didn't really like the premise, and stopped, even though I really like Mashima's works overall. I just have one question: does he actually kill characters and let them stay dead at this point?
Yeah, certain characters do, but I just think every arc gets better. It starts off when I first
Okay,
read it, start off at a 6, and then they got a 7, and then he just continually got better. He kind of found a groove here, and he did some things that were kind of unexpected.
okay,
He not killing people like he would in Rave Master, but it ain't fairy tale either.
all right, all
So
right. Happy
that's what I
medium. I
said.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, so he's
Okay.
kind of in the middle. So yeah.
Yep.
The 1,000 year quest is still going. Say a word. All right, Griever. The 28 and then 37.
28 and 27. Okay, so it's already been talked about. Gamaran. I
Okay.
mean, this is I was going to make a video about this a long time ago. And I mean, at the end of the day, I remember my opening bit was going to be like, discount Kenshin. I mean, it really, it's not exactly. I mean, it does have a lot of similarities to a Rurouni Kenshin and stuff like that, right? But does that mean it's bad or copying anything? Hell fucking no. The series, you know, following the swordsman and all that stuff. I mean, it's just everything. I love it, and I mean, Iori, man. Iori was one of those characters. He was like one of the models back in the day for what Escanor eventually reached the pinnacle to be. He was that guy. He was that character, and plot didn't keep him away like it does in One Piece with Shanks or fucking Gildarts and Fairy Tail. No, Iori literally said, "Oh, I didn't realize this shit was going down. I'll go kill the main bad guy." Fucking straight up went. And he was the one. It wasn't the main character. It was so different for me. I was like, wait a minute. You mean the main character isn't going to be? No, no, that's not the fight. And I was like, oh, okay. So you mean the better swordsman, because the main character isn't better than this dude, is going to go and solve the problems. I'm like, you mean real world can apply to a manga? What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, this is good. And there was a lot more to it, but anyway, I mean, Iori is the reason I stuck around for the manga because it shares a lot of the classic shonen battle manga traits. There's nothing super new under the sun, but that was something I was like really unexpected, and I was like, oh, okay, we're cooking with something here. So,
Cool.
um, so that was Gamaran, and then my 27, which was already talked about as well, was History's Strongest Disciple,
Okay.
Yeah,
Kenichi.
yeah.
I mean, this manga, 500 chapters of pure comedic and battle greatness. I loved it. It was over the top, and it was not apologizing for that shit whatsoever. I really enjoyed its read. I've read it 3 fucking times. How I found the time before, I never fucking know. But it was it was just fun. When the chapters were serious, you took them seriously. And when it was supposed to be a sitcom, it was a sitcom. And I loved it no matter what avenue they wanted to go down. When they wanted shit to be real, and I mean, it has its flaws. That's why it's lower on the list. It does have its flaws over its large 500 chapter run, but overall, like the characters are so endearing. Like I don't think anybody despises any one of the masters or any of the 10 Shadows, One Fist, or
I don't love
whatever
the
they're
old
called.
man, the perverted old man, but I don't hate
I'm
him.
not
He's
gonna
just my
lie.
least favorite.
This is one of the few manga that I've ever read that I dropped. I don't like this manga.
For sure.
Wow, really? Oh,
But
oh,
he has a personal reason for that.
okay, okay, fair enough. But I mean, I'm still sitting here like the fact that the mentor characters still have beef and also grow. We don't generally see that, like Kenichi has multiple mentor characters you can argue, but at the end of the day, you have these characters where they still have a personal journey and a beef still to solve and stuff like that. Generally speaking, we don't see that. Rayleigh is retired, he's done. Whitebeard is retired and he's done. Fucking Kisuke is done. Everybody else, mentor characters are done. They're finished. They if they have their final battle, it's to save their student. It's not because they necessarily needed to ever get involved. They don't have personal beef with anybody. So, mentor characters actually still having character development in the series from the get go sort of intrigued me more. It was something a little different, and having multiple mentors, of course, too. So,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah, that's my 27.
27, Pat.
Spotlight.
They
Fuck.
don't come in.
I'm
They don't come
downstairs.
in two lizard.
Let me run upstairs. Wait, you're looking at the list. Just tell me what it is.
Repeat that.
It's Ice Shield.
He
It's
said,
Ice
"Tell
Shield
you what it
21.
is."
I
I
feel
shield.
Oh,
I
ice
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
Ice shield. Ice shield.
Yeah. Okay. I Shield 21. Like I put it as honorable mention in the anime, but manga, manga is so good. Oh my god, Yusuke Murata is a god when it comes to illustrating. I love his art style. It's truly one of the best I've ever seen in my life. Not only that, series is amazing. Um, Senna, this is one of those stories where you see a character actually grow right before your very eyes, from a timid, shy little kid to a strong, dependable young adult. It's pretty cool. Cast is amazing. Everybody read I Show 21, man. Elite sports manga. And also,
agreed.
Sato versus Shinruji Nagas, one of the best sports sports manga matches ever. Easy.
Real football.
Shout to American football. Lizard 27.
My 27 is Blue Giant. This is a jazz manga. You're gonna learn two things. I love music
I can't
manga
hear
and
it.
love
I can't hear it. I'm joking. Okay, keep going.
well, some of us who can visualize music do not have that problem.
Oh shit. He
This
said. He
is
said skill issue.
He nah, he completely capped. He didn't hear none of that shit, man.
I
He
mean,
lied.
there's a movie and they have a soundtrack, so you could just listen to that along with it. But
I'm crying. He just pulled out his he had a trump card. He said he didn't
He
have to
literally pulled an Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
He had this in his pocket the whole time. Just say that shit, nigga. Damn.
See? Look at him.
okay, so yeah, learn I like music manga. You learn I love manga with the with blue in it. Blue Giant is just it's a jazz manga about the MC named Dai, who's just he's a normal student, but then he listens to jazz once and he's blown away. He decides to dedicate his life into become a jazz player. Not any jazz player,
Commitment.
the greatest jazz player of all time. And
Commitment.
like it's insane. If he'll like practice outside, and like he does practice, like practices his saxophone outside. If it's raining, snowing, doesn't matter what. And I think the biggest thing is Dai and his commitment and his desire, his drive to become uh the greatest jazz player no matter what. Like he does what he wants, and it comes through in his playing because he plays with just such um
Bless his
uh
Legend.
soul.
grandiose. You can tell he's like really into it. And these type of characters, he kind of reminds me of Luffy in a way, in terms of like how dedicated they are to to their dreams. And these kind of characters can sometimes annoy me and be like, oh, it's gonna be like, but I think Blue Giant does it in a way where I just fuck with it. I think the people he meets throughout his journey from high school, because it's well, first of all, it's four parts. Well, the fourth part is just out. Fourth the fourth part just started, and the second the second part's only just getting translated though, so we're behind. But it's his journey from like his time as high school until like his mid 30s, until like because of Professor Jazz Fair, whichever so well into adulthood. But yeah, Blue Giant is just, man. If you want great, if you appreciate jazz more thing, I think you really look fuck with it. But yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Vince 27 and 26.
27, Umi no Misaki. I think it's probably the best harem manga I've read to date. And basically it's about a teen who gets called like the water god, and now he has to have these three girls committed to him, and they're on this like really small island. But the thing
Oh,
I
I
think that
know that one. I love it. Yeah.
yeah, and the thing that
Yeah.
makes it so good is that he's actually forced to kind of like learn all three girls and like actually kind of have to build chemistry with all three, which is how it should be done. If you're gonna do a harem, don't just pick one and be like, oh well, one's obvious thing. He actually builds chemistry with all three, and that's what makes it so good because that's what it said. The art, depending on how you feel about certain type of art styles, it may not be for you, but I really like it. I think it's really wholesome, but it still got some of the harem stuff in it, so it's not completely wholesome because that's not what harem trying to do out here. That's not what we here for. But yeah, I think it works. wholesome in
Next
some
door.
ways, not so wholesome in other ways. And so
I
there go
didn't
the
think
twists.
anybody else read that, man. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
really
good.
good, really good.
Yeah.
26 Breaker: The New Ways also connected with the Breaker, and there's the third part that's a webtoon. I have not read that, so this is just about parts one and two. I think part one is just okay, but when you combine it with part two, you really got something here. Great
Yeah.
martial arts story.
Yes.
I never finished
Yeah.
anyways. I'm a fraud. It's just
Oh
funny because I said
well.
as soon as he gets his core back and he could use like key or whatever the fuck it was, like I'll read it. And I told them to tell me. They told me, and I never read it. Never read it.
Oh well.
Never.
Whenever you get a chance, there's no rush. There's a part
I
three too.
like
The webtoon. Like I
the
said, I've
first
never
season
read
though.
it.
Yeah.
I've actually caught up with the webtoon, and I'm trying to get caught up enough to review it on my channel. Actually,
Oh okay,
There,
okay.
Eternal
You
Force
got
is
to
what it's called. It's called
yeah.
Eternal Force.
You gotta tell
yeah,
me how it is later after stream, or just
yeah,
send
Yeah,
it to me or
100%,
something. But
100%.
yeah, but yeah, the Breaker New Waves, really, really good. I love martial arts. I'm biased towards
Good.
martial arts, except for one. I hope it might show up on somebody's thing, so I'm not gonna say it right now. If it does, I'll bring it up. But anyway, but yeah, the Breaker New Waves, really, really good. I recommend it. You like meathead martial arts stuff? This for you.
Griever
yeah.
26.
26. I have W Change. It was a very short run. It's like 20 chapters.
Oh wow, never read that
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
change.
a one shot first. There's two versions. There's W change with one exclamation point, then W change with two. So because it got a one shot, which was slightly different, and then it got a I don't know a monthly, weekly release, and then it's done. Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, it's it's a fun little it is classic shonen to a T, okay? Like a high school girl who just wants to fall in love sort of idea, but she's of course the daughter of a yakuza family. So she's expected to be, and of course their blood, the blood that runs in their veins gives her superpowers and all this shit. It's classic, and the high school is filled with like people of the yakuza and stuff. You know what I mean? It's that classic. Oh, high school is junior high and high school is so fucking dangerous in the Japanese manga world. Like fuck world governments and nuclear missiles. We have student councils, bitch. So I mean, it it was a lot of fun. I wish that it had gone on longer. It really could have been one of those slapstick, just we're unapologetically using all the tropes, but the art style was clean. It was a lot of fun, and she does get the guy in the end, which is nice. So, but yeah.
That
Spoiler story for 19 chapters of a story, but spoilers,
the guy
20
rejects her.
26 Lizard.
yeah.
My 26 is World Trigger. If you watch the anime stream, you'll know why I like it. If you didn't, go watch that. But I'll just quickly say I think one most in-depth tactical battle series I've ever read. I think Daisuke what's his name? The mangaka. Sorry about the mangaka's name. If I can find that. Daisuke Ashihara's really well written, really in-depth thing, and I think he does it like I think he interacts interesting. The only thing really is just the scheduling because he has health problems. If that was better, I'd probably get higher up my list because there'd be more chapters. But yeah, that's it.
Agreed, agreed. Really good stuff. Love World Trigger.
All right, Pat. Oh, brother.
26. Hunter x Hunter. I'm higher on the anime than I am the manga. It's only here because of Kurapika. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I like that.
Fair
Sweet and
enough.
sorry to the point. 27 for me. Black Lagoon. It would be higher, but
Another
it
one
don't
I
come
wish
out.
should drama. Yeah, don't come
It
out.
don't
Yep.
come out.
Yeah.
So that's it. The only reason it's here. Be way higher because I love it, but the shit don't come out. Y'all know my rules. Y'all know about Revy Two Hands, so I gotta go into great detail. But you see about like her right there. Russian Queen, Scar, smoking a cigar. She raw. I need that pussy. Huh? Next.
Huh?
Huh?
Keep talking.
Yeah.
You're spitting.
Wow.
20,
Wow.
20, 26, 26, 26 is Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. Clamp. If you like Card Captor Sakura, if you're into Holic, X Holic, but I don't think you pronounce the X is, which is the other side of the coin to this story. It is quite a masterful connected universe. Tsubasa World Chronicles, I believe, is the one that's ongoing now, at least last time that I checked. But yeah, Um, the thing about this series that I have a tremendous respect for is how it connects to Cardcaptor Sakura Card Captors and how it goes alongside Holic, but it's did something with the main character that I didn't really see that for like I would say like maybe not half, but maybe a third of the manga, like a decent chunk. You're kind of following a false MC. And that kind of bait and switch and when they kind of flipped it on you, I was like, I don't think I've ever really seen this in a story. There's one comic book that comes to mind with a false chosen one, but it was really good. The artwork's amazing. The magic system's really dope. It has some of my favorite arcs of two of my favorite arcs, I would say of all time. Like if I made a top 30 arcs, two of those arcs would be in it. And I used to basically call it the manga Kingdom Hearts because they traveled from world to world. And basically had to like complete a task and then they go to the next world. So it's super dope. It's time. The usual stream Tagashi slander. Fuck Tagashi. There you go. Yeah. Tired, man.
You
I'm
can do
glad I didn't get
25
tired.
because you might as well do 25 too since we're already on.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Why didn't you guys didn't do? Wait,
No, everybody did 26.
We already did 26.
You just said
no, you guys did
you
You're
did
30.
just
26.
behind.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Beelzebub. Shout out to
Okay.
Olga.
Let's go.
Shout out to
Super
Tojo. Shout out to my
milk
goat Fuji.
time.
He put the tissue in his nostril. And he started folding people because he's getting he was getting possessed by strong demons from Behemoth and whatnot. That arc is actually hilarious. I think this is one of the funniest manga I've read. Olga is a really great lead. I think the cast is fantastic. It has that like delinquent Yankeeism that I like, but it has a demonic supernatural spin to it. Because I'd argue it kind of starts out not similar to Curls, but there's like the newcomer, the head honcho third year, blah 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 blah. Blah but then there's the demonic component to it with Baby Beal and everything. So absolutely hilarious. Action is incredible. It did get a rush ending, unfortunately. Nasu versus Olga versus Takamiya are two of my favorite manga fights in general. I think they're really, really, really good, high tier. So shout out to
I
Beelzebub, man.
wanted to put it. It was on my list before, and I wanted to keep it there, but I literally don't remember anything, so I had to push it off. But when I read it
Yeah,
again, it's probably gonna come back on the
that
list.
happens. I get
Yeah.
it. That's how I feel about some of
Yeah.
No,
certain things.
I'm a 9 on this. That some of those fights, especially when Natsu hits Oga into that ceiling and he goes, "Hey, y'all talking like I'm been one shotted. I'm about to come down out of the ceiling and kick the shit out of you people." I was like, "This man just got one shotted and he's talking through concrete? Fuck yeah!"
He got the Olga burial special, but he also tagged Olga's arm when he did it. He wrote on it with the marker, and he was fine when he pulled
Oh,
himself out of the
oh
concrete. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
really,
and he
it
was
was
not
like one of
having
those.
it.
He it's one of my favorite things that I think a lot of the best creative teams and whatnot can do when they want to showcase that two combatants are at least somewhat equal. They show them both get like a hit on each other in some way. The best
Yeah,
example I could think of like pretty recently that I think about all the time is Virgil and Dante. When Virgil hits him with his thing, but Dante pulls out his sheath and throws it back at him, so it pushes him back too. Like when you could do that, I get fucking
yeah.
hype. So
Let's go.
yeah, Devil May Cry 5 is when it happened at the very end. This is when Virgil kind of got his powers back, got his form back. It was like really good. Shout out to bury the light, man, bury the light. All right, Pat.
Number 25 is Death Note. We already spoke on the anime. The manga is just as good, if not better. Um, the ending is different from the anime, so
Mhm, mhm.
it's worth reading off that alone.
I always forget
But I
I
really
always forget their name.
enjoy.
It's like Obata and Ohab something whatever, but they're a really
Yeah,
good creative
it's
team. I like them.
yeah,
They're good.
Yeah.
They're a good duo.
Sugumi
Yeah, they're a good duo.
and Obata and Oba, yes, but they're really good. The art is really good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is a classic series, man. If you ain't read Death Note, you
The
missing out.
ultimate
You got to get on
gateway.
that.
It's the thing that taught a lot of us that someone doesn't have to get beat up, punched, and pile drive through the fucking concrete to have a good time reading something.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Lizard
Pat, I will
25.
say just really quick, I have the whole black volume Tonkamon version with the black pages right behind me, and I agree, man. Death Note is
It was. I didn't like. Is
Very nice.
is that the all in one? I'm like, this is way too big. I feel like it
no,
would
no,
come
no.
apart.
It's
I have the individual volumes and volume 13 though.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's six because I've got the like Beyond Birthday. I've got the novels too, but
So do
it's
I.
6 volumes, all with black
The Los
pages.
Angeles BB murder cases is actually the first light novel I ever read, and that was when I really like got introduced to Nishio Ishii back in 2008. So I feel you on that.
Nice, nice.
Uh, my turn, right?
Lester Man.
Yes,
Hey
yes.
man, we cannot say the name
I
with
mean
the
Shikano
last.
Toko.
Yeah, he was tripping. It's Omi Chikano Toko. Do not look at the English name. This is a short 23 episode romance, a rom-com. But I say rom-com is probably the best thing. About a main character who gets into a
Yes, I'm on this too.
misunderstanding. He gets a misunderstanding with this girl, and he resolves it. I just like that it's although the concept of him trying to follow, trying to use 2chan, which is like basically Japanese 4, I think it's Japanese 4chan, if I had to say it in a way, to try to learn how to confess to him is funny as fuck. And I like how, uh, it doesn't end with the standard couple of the main two, the people that the how the MC and like the main girl the girl he meets right away, they don't end up, and it ends up in a different going in a different direction. It's 23 episodes, 23 chapters. It does not overstay its welcome, and it is really nice. If you just want a short romance, just read this and have a good time.
I love this pick. I'm gonna check this one out myself. I like that art style that I see from that stream.
Yeah, when I
Yes.
did my top 30 mangaka, I had him on there. All right. Ooh, I like this. Go ahead, Vince. Talk about it.
Uh, Nosoku Ana, and like I just think this. I think one of Japan's best qualities, what I always say, is that they have the ability to take a really weird premise to tell a really simple story and make it interesting. And this is it. This is a really good romance with adult characters and just kind of how two people kind of share a weird bond, but it leads to blossoming in something more. And I just think this is a really good with a really nice art style. It's a really good romance, and I just think everybody should read it. It's really
I've been
good.
collecting the volumes. I've been collecting them. This,
Oh,
shout out to
respect. I should
Ryuta
do all that.
Amazume. This shit is raw.
Yeah, this shit is raw, definitely.
Reaver. 25.
25, I have, I'm sort of cheating, but not really because it's been published enough, is Legend of Zelda by Akira Himekawa. I love this art style. It reminds me of the old 80s and 90s art style. It's the Zelda manga. It started off with one Ocarina of Time volume, and now it's still the Twilight Princess one is still ongoing. It has the best of the best. It has the fan theories, everything in there. The Twilight Princess one is just it's just golden, man. It's taking all the fan theories that we love and know about, from Majora's Mask all the way through. And I mean, she did some Oracle ones, and I think a Link to the Past, or maybe one of the Wind, like Phantom Hourglass ones. But she's been following the Link from Ocarina of Time through, and I mean the omnibuses and everything. It's gorgeous art. It looks exactly how I'd expect the anime, if they ever were to make an anime of Zelda, to be. But they add those little things like, now I don't want to kill Volvagia when I replay Ocarina of Time anymore. I don't want to play the Fire Tail. I do not want to kill that dragon. That's Link's pet dragon from back in Kakuri. I can't do it. I don't want to do it anymore. That's heartbreaking to me. So they took all the nice little fan theories, put them in the manga format in gorgeous art style, made it happen. I mean, hell, they even had the whole Twilight Princess, the Golden Wolf is actually the hero of time, regretting the fact that he can't go kick Ganondorf's ass. And he's like, so I got to train your fucking ass because I'm dead because that son of a bitch waited long enough until I died. Otherwise, I would have been the one for the job, not you. So pull your head out of your ass
I don't think I
and
like
get
that.
fucking
I
good.
like I like I like the game's reasoning for it better.
The
I don't
game,
like that.
what's the game's reasoning again? I forget.
He died a tragic hero's death before he believed it was time, and because he was forced back in time and he lost all of his friends, including Navi, during the Majora's Mask, he was a hero that didn't really have a kingdom to save, despite the fact that he actually did save it because Zelda sent him back in time to be a child again. So he was actually kind of bitter. So he died kind of bitter, and that's why he became a hero
Yes,
shade, which is kind of a tragic end for the hero of time in a lot of ways.
100%.
And then I don't care about the Ganondorf bit. That doesn't move me. I don't like
No,
that.
no, 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 no. He's
That's
still there.
fanficky.
He's still All that. See, what I like about this, Naya, so maybe I misexplained, is that it's still canon. They
No
never
sir.
deviate from game canon, and that is what happened. But what I'm saying is that the new Twilight Princess Link is what they do with him is they make him the I don't think I'm strong enough. I'm not cut out for this. They make him the hero. He has to be the hero. He gets Triforce and stuff, but he's he's more incompetent than the one that we knew. And the hero shade's like, well, it's my job to buck you up into fucking shape, Manny. And he's like, well, why don't you just do it if you're so fucking good and stuff like that? And then it's revealed that he is the hero of time. He's like, you don't think I want to? You don't think I want to fucking go do this? But I can't. It's your job now. It's your time. My time passed. You know, even the Majora's Mask manga plays on the idea of he has the memories of being the hero of time, and basically no one takes him seriously because he's just a child. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's trust me, if you give it a read, which once again, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, 3 volumes. Twilight Princess, 10 volumes. There's a lot of character development. You'll love it.
The only
Trust me.
one that I own is the one that tells us the story of Hylia's chosen champion before she decides to reincarnate as a human. I like that one. I don't really. I have the games. I don't need that for the rest of them. But give me your 24.
24 is it originally was the Pokemon Adventures manga. So I love this manga. I love the idea of Pokemon taken seriously. Pokemon get killed. It's brutal and stuff like that. But
They're
since
not fainting.
I
They
don't know
dying.
what's that?
They're not fainting. They dying.
Oh yeah, they die, and Arbok got sliced in half in that shit. So yeah, fuck yeah, they die. They die in that shit.
I'm telling P that.
Um, it's a lot more serious. It's a lot more serious and stuff. And the Pokemon Adventures manga explains a lot of the gaps left in the games, like why Red was on Mount Silver back in Gold and Silver when we all played it. Shit. So I love that shit. Um, but uh, if I can make one small tweak to this entry, it's still Pokemon, but I have to give it to the new fan manga that comes out. It's a Pokemon fan manga, and that's why I'm still like, I don't know if it counts technically, but it
It's fine.
incorporates the anime, the manga, it incorporates everything. It is literally the best piece of Pokemon media, and I mean every game. I grew up on Pokemon, people, with the Game Boy, and I'm saying every game, anime, manga, bullshit. I'm sorry. This is the best piece. This is the culmination of perfection when it comes to Pokemon media. I don't really know what the fuck it's called. I just have some crazy link to it. It's got 15 chapters. They're like 100 something pages a chapter. Gorgeous art, perfect inclusion of everything if you grew up in the 90s or 2000s with Pokemon, and it's just telling the story of Red once again and stuff like that, but it's done beautifully, man. I mean, I live streamed it on my channel. I fucking cried at 2 fucking chapters, man. I weeped like a little high school girl reading some of this shit. I couldn't continue past a certain page. It was that fucking good. So originally on my list I had Pokemon Adventures, but if we can include that little tidbit of fan manga, I'm gonna choose that one.
Chicken and Toko probably falls under that moniker anyway, so you're good. Um,
Ah, awesome.
wait. I think who has to go
20.
next? It's you, right,
Uh,
Blizzard? And then
yeah, I'll
Pat.
go
24
with
now.
24, right? My
Yeah.
24 is Vinland Saga.
You have
A
enemies
little,
though.
actually, I was about to say, unlike certain people here, Pat, I learned the lesson from you. I do not have any enemies.
There you
They
go. Tell him.
Oh,
Tell him.
brother.
they might see me as enemies, but they're just misinformed people. They do not know
I
the
got
truth.
enemies.
Uh, um, the little lower, a little bit of lower. The last time we did this series, just I was actually way up, way higher. It was actually, I gave it 100 before, but I had to drop it because one of the orcs was was pretty bad, so I couldn't justify giving 100. But even still, I think it bounced back. The corner arc is amazing, is doing really well. But I just like the journey of going from kid who's just obsessed with trying to read this idealistic battle warrior Viking, and realizing that life isn't really like that, and it has changed from that. I know I and some of you guys don't like the whole pacifistic thing, but I think it's well done. I think the farm arc and the arc after that, which I forget the name of, is some of the best arcs I've ever read. And yeah, we talked about it a lot. Shout out Villain Saga. Yeah,
I really don't have an. I don't think Vinland Saga's bad. I need my Vikings killing, bro. That's all I keep saying to people. That's not
yeah,
very good.
yeah. No.
It's not bad though.
Yeah, it's good. I just prefer Vikings and TV show, at least for a
Yeah.
while.
Pat, I believe. Pat.
Yes, number
Yes.
24, Kimetsu no Yaiba. Series
Midget
is
no
so special
Yaiba.
to me. And it's sibling love story. Um, a lot of very tragic character arcs, but it's done very well. I enjoyed the art style. Actually, I think it's a reflection of the time period. And yeah, Kimetsu no Yaiba is 24. It'll probably drop a little bit more as I'm rereading some of the older stuff that I didn't put on here, like Shaman King, Beelzebub, and all that stuff. But
I honestly, Pat, in all honesty, I hope it drops off your top 30 completely.
okay, yeah, Griever, go to bed.
Insane.
Uh,
I do
I
not like this series.
I
It's
am a
a 5
Yaiba.
out of
I
10.
am a Yaiba enjoyer.
Okay, I don't like Pokemon, so yeah, there we
That's
have it.
fair. That's fair. That's cool.
I hate Pokemon fans more than I hate Pokemon.
Mm.
I don't like
Okay,
Pokemon
man.
either.
Your
That's
turn.
not Temtem. Um, 24 is Katekyo Hitoma. Demon.
Rebound.
Yeah, come on, man. Y'all know the jokes. I talk about Reborn and Run Back number 6. We talked about Reborn once. It had like 3 more Reborn streams after the fact. Zanzis is one of my all-time favorite characters. Dying Wolf Flames is one of my all-time favorite manga energy power slash magic systems. I think the fights are amazing. I love Akira Amano's art. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I think it has one of the most egregious Deus Ex Machinas of all time. Though in retrospect, I laugh about it more than it upsets me. Like what does Simi call him? Tombout, Talbot, Tombout. Like where the fuck did you come from? Talk about I got the blood, I got primo, I got sin like penalty. I'm like, bro, who are you? Where the fuck did you come from? But the last arc was amazing. You know, it has also one of my favorite illusionists. If you look closely into the background, who do you see behind everybody? Who is that? Who? Rokudo Mukuro. I think he's the greatest illusionist I've seen in like manga and anime with the 6 pass of reincarnation. Itachi come outside, the Chia clan come outside, whatever them burger aliens in Boruto come outside. You not messing with this man. But yeah, shout to box weapons too. Box weapons are awesome. Yeah. Everyone just did 24, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I haven't done mine yet.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah.
Then do
Okay.
23 after,
Okay.
yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was planning to do. So my 24 is Crows. Um, I mean, you'll go on it more now later down the road, but Crows really good delinquent, gets the feelings back to 90 peak masculinity. You get your friends and you talk with your hands. You know what I'm saying? Rhyming accidentally. And
You know what that reminded
yeah, I
me of?
just
I just beat
well
everybody. Your boss, your organization's already fallen. Wow, it's crazy. But they ain't me though. Run them, run
yeah,
them, run
yeah.
them. Go
And
ahead though.
just Crows is just really fun. I think it does a really good job with not only friendship but other things like responsibility and what it means to mature in life and the streets and all that. It's just not all gonna be at the what it is at the end of the day. You got to grow up past that. Just a lot of subtle things here and there. Subtle but not so subtle at the same time. Because if you're not paying attention, I think that's pretty silly. But really, really good stuff. Boy, one of the best MC is the Man, also one of the best characters
Random Man is one
in
of
the
the
series.
ultimate bosses in a series. Like you know, I ever see like an ultimate fader? He really is him.
Yeah, yeah, he is him. So I really love that series. And then for 23 for me, Eternal Sabbath ES. And just very interesting take on what's the word I'm looking for?
Niggas,
People with the I forgot what type of power it is called.
music,
Espers,
Esper,
like
Esper.
espers,
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that. Yeah. So and just like Ease Your Mind and stuff like that. It's just really interesting sci-fi. Again, like I said, you don't get a ton of sci-fi, and I think this is definitely one of the better ones. And I just think it's really, really interesting. And I don't want to say too much about it because I want to give too much away. Recommend reading it though. It's
Okay.
only 83 chapters too, so it's not that long.
Griever, what's your Michael Jordan?
What's my Michael Jordan? Well, obviously it's the GOAT, Michael Jordan, because fuck LeBron lovers. But Sun Can Rock
I like
is what
that.
I
I
got.
like that. Say it again. Fuck what?
LeBron lovers.
I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get flamed. I'm gonna flame.
No, fuck him.
uh, no, Michael Jordan is definitely top one. Fuck LeBron.
Absolutely.
But Sun Can Rock is my favorite, and I did read Doctor Stone. I've read a lot of Boichi's work over the years, and it's his best work. A lot of people complain. Yes, the ending's shit, but once again, if we were going to go down a list and say that every manga that has a bad ending is shit, well, guess what? All of our lists would be like maybe three manga a piece. Let's be
Oh
real
no,
here.
speak for
So
yourself.
no, yeah. Anyways,
I have a lot of short
come
series.
on, him and Reborn was Rush, man. Don't you fucking tell me it wasn't.
No, I know it
Um,
was rushed. Beaver's not perfect. My point is, a lot of things that I like ended well. But sorry, keep going, keep going. I didn't mean to
all
derail you.
right, fair enough. You want to defend it, that's
Long
fine.
run is
But
showing in. Fair enough though.
yeah. But either way, Sun Cam Rock, some of the, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite, if not the best art style I've seen. I know a lot of people talk about Murata and stuff for One Punch Man and stuff, but yet no. If I were to commission who is the best drawn manga with the most detail and shit like that, my preferred style is Kubo. But I mean, like if I woke up in the morning, I mean, I would draw like Kubo, but Boichi just got that shit. It works for that mafia. The fucking panels are golden. Like this man knows how to draw. The art is perfect. It's 10 out of 10. It's always 10 out of 10. And the story is comedic, but it adds political, the difference between right and wrong, and fucking how diplomacy works and how the mafia works and how a country and a government works and all that stuff. But you still get that little bit of that seinen feel. It's honestly, it. I really need a reread. Honestly, because
I personally am not a fan of. I don't hate Boichi or love Boichi. I think his artwork works for his stuff. I don't like when he draws it for other series like One Piece. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me at all. Um,
I'm
I
also
actually
not
think
a
Ken is
fan.
a burger. I don't really like him. However, Ken Rock does actually have one of my favorite manga fights. It's when he's fighting that dude in the army thing in that little. I think they were like a build like an abandoned building. But I think his name was like I want to say he was. I don't remember the guy's name, but
yeah,
that fight is incredible. So
yeah,
that's one of my favorite
hundred
fights in
percent.
manga.
But yeah, it's got. I think this is the perfect example of a manga meets that Western like jawline look.
I
So
feel it.
yeah,
What's your Michael Jordan, Lizard?
It is actually another thing with 20th Century Boys.
Yes, sir.
I said I like 20th Century Boys has 21st Century Boys, and I know they're separate, but let's be real, they're the same manga.
Yeah, you're
just
like
cut it up.
I'm like that too. Like, bro, that's the same shit, bro. Come on.
I would have put both, but I'm not trying to ruin my list. I'm trying to make my list look better, look good. But yeah, 20th Century Boys. I like Urasawa. This is one of his best psychological series. Um, I remember reading it and fuck with it. I love the whole concept of the friend and um how something the MC and his friends created in their childhood turns into this super sprawling cult like thing, and how he has his journey and just look back to his past to save everybody in the future. And yeah, I think Urasawa just one of the best writers, one of the one probably obviously one of the best mangaka of all time, probably one of my favorites, and he hit it out the park with 20th Century Boy.
Absolutely, really good. I highly recommend that. I wanna collect it one day, honestly.
I
But that
I
time
actually
will come.
collected a lot of it. Yeah,
I'm just broke.
get your money up,
I gotta
knife me up.
prioritize. Wow. Okay, I'll go ahead on Pat. 20 Michael Jordan.
2-3, 2-3. So number 23 for me is Gameron. Shout out to Vince. I know he's been talking about it for years. I was like, I'm gonna read it one day, and then I joined his little group chat thingy, and they was reading it, and man, this series delivered. Honestly, uh, Shin was my favorite character. Iori's cool, but I just really fucked with Shin's vibe more. I liked his fighting style. He was more like flowing water type. I thought that was really dope. His little revenge thing in the very beginning, and he just like
Mhm.
bifurcated that nigga. I was like,
Mm,
yeah, he's the one. Any nigga that comes and takes vengeance like that, I'm
He
attached to
he
immediately.
was swift and decisive with no fucking around. It was no,
No,
oh, we might be even. No, you stink. Not on my level.
and
Stink. You stink.
Gamma,
Shin is that guy. I will give it to you.
I
Iori's
have
my
this
favorite,
thing.
but I'll give you Shin.
I have this thing where I don't like brats, so I didn't like Gamma when he was younger, but when he got older, I was like, okay, I like him now. Um, but I feel like the story
Bobby
was
the
better
Burger.
when he was younger, and then like after he got older, the story kind of took a little bit of a dive, but it was still good, mainly because of the old nigga Kizaki Gensai. I'll never forget him. He was so
Raw
raw.
ass nigga. Raw ass
He
nigga,
was
man.
so raw. Oh my god, the nigga said I can't stand it. Can't stand what? I can't stand the thought of niggas thinking they stronger than me. I'm like, bro, he's the
I
one.
felt that in my soul. I
He's the
felt that.
one. That shit was so raw. I honestly want to reread it again sometime soon because I
I'm
really
gonna give.
enjoyed Gamma.
Hey,
Honestly.
hey,
For
you
Vince.
you tell me
I'm
when
gonna
we
give it
do
a
that.
fair chance. I never gave it a fair
Hey, well,
chance.
y'all tell me when we do that. We can read it together.
I'll be
Everyone
down.
together.
Pat, you read the second part or no?
I've read some of the
With
second part. It
Iori,
does slow. It does slow, but it's been pretty good so far.
Mhm.
Okay.
Iori is the MC for that one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
My 23, Michael Jordan, and somewhat fittingly, it is a sports manga. My very first one that made me fall in love with the genre. Tennis no Oji-sama, Prince of Tennis, Mada Mada Dane. You still have Lost Matueko. Nobody beats me in tennis. Um, yeah, this was a gateway manga that made me like really like sports ones, and after this is when I tried stuff like Slam Dunk, and I eventually got to stuff like Kuroko, Ice Shield, Haikyuu, Dino Ace, Major One Outs, and stuff like that. Um, I honestly really do stand by the original Prince of Tennis, no matter what anime and manga. The anime does do a lot of detours and has a lot of filler and stuff, but Fuji, one of my favorite characters. I love him. He's one of my favorite personifications of a genius in sports, in a sports sense. He's really dope.
Hmm.
He's got that piercing glare where like his eyes are always like closed, but when he opens them, it's like his
I
eyes
always
are
love
stabbing
characters
you.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Kaya versus Kirihara. I'm sorry, Kirihara versus Fuji was one of my favorite. I was anticipating for this, like, because they're my favorite characters, and I actually got to see them have a match. Kaya didn't perform as like or horribly or as well as I thought he would, but honestly, Ryoma is like one of the one of the greatest 12-year-olds I've ever seen. The only reason I've always somewhat given him credit for
He's
a lot of the
12.
matches he wins, even though I don't think he should necessarily win them because I just don't get the stature, is because his dad is his dad's the GOAT and he loses to his dad literally every single day. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
that man is humbled every single fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Shibisuke.
And then he gets
I didn't know
humbled by
Akaya
his
was one of your favorite
captain.
characters too. I didn't. He's also my favorite character. I think other than Ryoma.
Akaya overtook Fuji for a little bit with them. I like that basically when he got pissed off and his eyes got bloodshot, he just hit because if he hits the ball at you and you don't return it, it's still a point. And he just started doing they just hit him in his knee. I'm like, nah, this nigga's cold. He's him.
Yeah, he was nasty. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. To
They
That was
ruined him
really
they ruined him
nasty.
in Defense of Tennis about angel mode and his eyes was glistening. Like, no, where the evil at? I didn't like
Yeah,
it. But
yeah. New Prince of Tennis, which is everything. Just
yeah,
It
it is very unserious.
it had
yeah.
potential. Then it got bad.
Yeah. I knew what we was once I seen the Oni guy. I forgot his name. He was the guy with the red hair who was like with the gatekeeper, but he's one of
Yeah,
the best of
Oni,
Japan, top
Oni,
three.
yeah.
When you had his fucking racket with two strings, one horizontally, one vertically, I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Well, black jackknife.
Yeah,
All right, man, what are we doing?
yeah. It was wild
Then
out
they
there.
playing tennis on horseback. I'm like, oh yo, what the
Oh
fuck is
yeah.
going on? My
Yeah, that is
22 is
pro
Maki,
shit.
the Labyrinth of Magic. I've spoken about this a lot of times. You guys know how much respect I have for this series. Shout out to Shinobu. I think the Jin, Magoi, Rooks, and I think it was called Ki, but with a Q system is really good. I think the final flashback before kind of it ends with is it Alma Toran, I believe it's called. That's amazing.
Yes.
Sinbad is one of the greatest characters that I've ever seen in a manga and anime. Like this is his show. Fuck Aladdin. This is his shit. Fuck Alibaba.
Yeah,
This is
100%.
Aladdin.
Sinbad fucking series. Are you stupid? Are you
Sinbad's
dumb?
fun.
When they showed that the man was half fallen, He had the black roots and the white one. Like, nah, he's different. He's him. 7 metal vessels. He has his own spin-off. Imagine a Sinbad. Yo, who fucking wanted this man? But I'll just keep it brief here. The main reason I was so interested in it and it delivered was because I'm like, I want to see what a Japanese take on the Arabian Nights story was, and I think they delivered. I wanted to see how they would kind of spin it in their own way. I thought they did a really good job of it.
Sinbad's the
It's just,
goat.
it's the same reason why I was interested in Aku no Hana, the flowers, the evil, les fleurs du mal. I want so yeah.
Mm.
Pat
Number 22
22.
is Rurouni
Yeah,
Kenshin.
yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin is
Too soft for a
one of
swordsman.
the best swordsman series ever created. The art in this series, like the presentation of these sword fights, is truly one of a kind. You can see every detail of the stance, the beginning, middle, end of a sword fight in Kenshin. I've read a lot of ship series. They don't really present the shit that they do in Kenshin like they do in their series. It's got some sort of magic quality to it. It's hard to explain, but I'm not really keen on like romance, but I thought this was like romance done right in my opinion. I guess with the backstory with Kenshin, when he killed
The
Was
what's her
it
name?
Mako.
You know,
fiance or husband or whatever it
yeah,
is?
yeah,
The
I don't remember.
Mako.
I don't remember her name. I don't know why.
yeah. It's series is really really good. It's got a lot of good characters, great antagonists. Oh my gosh, Makoto Shisho. The flesh of
The
the weak
flesh
is
of the
what?
weak is food for the strong.
Yup, there we go. All right, we should
Live
move
in
on.
the weak die.
Kill evil quickly. The other guy, I like him too. Yeah,
Saito, he's
yeah.
such a dog.
Saito.
Oh my
Kill
god,
all evil. Ah,
he's
soak
such
sun.
a dog.
Ah,
No, he's a
Kenshiro.
wolf. Remember that, Pat. He's a wolf.
You are correct.
He
He
is.
is the wolf of Mibu.
Space Kyodai.
Yes, sir. Space Brothers. This is a story about two brothers who want to become who basically want to become astronauts, and it goes into the thing, and the main character has failed at his dream. He failed to become a astronaut, while his younger brother, actually became an astronaut and is has actually selected to go to the moon. And then the main character, seeing that his brother, he just decides to once again go for his dream and try to become an astronaut. And this is one of the best journeys I've ever read in a manga. The journey from him becoming almost giving up on his dream and trying to live like, like the whole failed dream thing, and trying to go back and trying to actually become an astronaut. And it's just one of the most rewarding journeys I've seen. See him actually train to become an astronaut, do everything he needs to become an astronaut, that when he actually becomes an astronaut, it really hits hard. um his brother also has his own journeys, but his journey is more like trying to overcome the psychological trauma he suffered through because of his journey, because his first time on the space station on the moon. And yeah, as both brothers. Also, I don't know if you guys know this one little thing. I love space, the concept of space. So this obviously was gonna hook me from the beginning. But yeah, if you want a great journey and a rewarding and a satisfying journey of a character who goes from somebody who had to give up on his dream to deciding to say, "Fuck that, man! I'm not gonna give up my dream. I'm gonna go there and do. I'm gonna try again." He tries and he works up, and then yeah, he ends up achieving what he does in a rewarding and satisfying way.
Mhm. Simi said, "Old boy from my Crunchyroll days been trying to get me to read this since like 2013. I read a bit of it, but I forgot what I read. It's like
It's
years ago.
almost about the
Lameo,
it's about to end actually soon. But yeah,
it's ongoing.
yeah, it's like last volume type of shit.
Mm.
Jesus
Vince.
Christ.
All right, 22 for me, Vagabond. I've kept
Mm.
this off of my top manga for a very long time for obvious reasons, but I looked at it again over the pandemic and I could not fight that I still very much love this manga. It just
You
that
said
it
you
ain't
couldn't
nothing.
fight it.
Yeah. I very much love this manga, but obviously it's an 8.5 because it ain't ended. It's over.
Exactly. It's not done.
So I can't put it no. So I
It's
can't put it
not
no
done.
higher than this. I can't
Exactly.
give some. I
You know
can't
we
give
don't
something a
finish
nine or
shit.
a 10. Yeah, I can't give something a
Wait,
9 or a 10. That's not
hold
gonna
on
get.
a second.
He didn't finish Slam Dunk, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
I can't get something a 9 or a 10
Skipped
that's
like
not gonna
everything.
finish.
Fuck that nigga.
But this is very good. I think it has some of the best characterization for the characters. It does have not a very big cast. Some of the best fights I've ever seen. Very interesting flow of the philosophy and stuff like that. I just think it's very well done and all matter of fact. But once again, I can't go no higher than this because it will never finish.
That bald monk nigga with the staff, I'll never forget him. I might not remember his name, but I'll never forget him.
Oh yeah, he was nice.
Shout
He was
out.
nice, bro.
This manga is completed, by the way. Don't nobody can say anything. No hiatus is
Lizard,
completed.
shut up, bruh.
Nah, he's
It's not.
spin. He's spin. He's spin.
He comes back to drop a redrop of a Slam Dunk volume. Like, he did not care about this series.
All
Like,
he did was
His
draw
best manga
again.
is
Get out
real,
always
anyways.
back. We
Real
lied.
chill basketball was in. Griever, you're up to bat twice.
So 22 Fairy
Yeah.
Tale.
Hey, Fayardi, where you
I'm gonna,
going? Hey,
even though I
Gotti,
think
what's
Rave
doing the way?
had better consequences, and I hold to that because nobody fucking dies in Fairy Tale. Um, I will say that Fairy Tale overall, it's just, I think because it went on longer, or something, I don't know, but the characters, the cast is beloved. I mean, you love the villains, you love the main cast, you love the multitude of characters. And once again, it's very difficult. I feel like it's very difficult for a mangaka. Like that's why I always have a problem with things like My Hero Academia and Black Clover and things like that. It's like you introduce like too many characters all at once, and like they won't all get their time to shine, and they'll fall into the background. You know, there'll be a Yamcha, a Tien, a Krillin, or something else like later on, like when you go far enough. So it's a bad structure to have too much of that. Fairy Tale doesn't really seem to do that. They seem to give everyone their moments to shine. We have so many unique personalities. I mean, Loxus is great, Gildarts is great, Kana's great, Natsu, Gray, Lucy. Everyone has their moment to shine. Realistically, um, and yes, of course, it gets ridiculous because it's Mashima, but overall, I enjoy the anime and the manga, and that art is fire. That art style, Mashima art style is
You got elite thoughts. It can never be less
yeah,
than a 5 out of 10 for me.
shout
As
out.
long as you like it, that's what matters.
yeah, dude. Like I know it's junk food entertainment. I
I
know
really
it
don't
is.
have any heat with Fairy Tail. I'm not
McDonald's.
saying it's good. I just don't have any beef with it. I just don't have any beef with it. You know, those ones like I just don't like. I just don't care. Like Fairy Tail's
No,
fine,
hey
whatever, man.
man,
It is what
just
it is.
bad bitches. Shout out the spin things we get from this series, man.
There
The
you
fan
go.
And there it
creation.
is. And there it is.
It's got good fights too. 21. 21. You
21 is
stupid.
which would be higher on my anime list because I think the anime is better, but
Mhm.
it's Inuyasha.
Okay.
So I mean, first and foremost, it was one of my first romance, like, and once again, as Naya knows, I grew up with, watching soap operas with my grandmother and my mother a lot of stuff. So I was always like, where's the romance? Like, when I would watch a cartoon, I was like, well, the main boy and girl have to be in love, right? Like, where the fuck is the romance? I'm used to this shit. Where's the fucking romance? And, Inuyasha had it for me, but it also had the crafts and stuff like that. It worked on a lot of levels because it had the battle, it had the comedy, it had the honestly Rumiko Takahashi. Like I then was watching Rama Half at the same time as Inuyasha was coming out, and between the two, I understand why people say Rama Half is the better one, but Rama One Half, sorry, but I I think Inuyasha is basically the pinnacle of a romantic fairy tale. 100%. It just something about it, man. It just everything about the characters, the power, like the power system never feels. There's never power scaling in Inuyasha. Something I
I was just say,
fucking
there's a power
appreciate and
system.
love. Right? They do, but it's never talked about because it's such a soft power system that nobody cares. Power scalers stay away from this beloved 600 chapter series and I thank Christ every day, who I don't even believe in, that they stay away from this fucking beautiful manga and just go away.
Can they beat Goku though?
I
That's a
mean,
real
technically,
QTN.
yeah, Maito-san Gatsuha can do that, but whatever.
wrong.
Not necessarily. He might just instant transmission his way out of there.
If he gets hit with it, he's done.
For actually power scaling.
No. No.
I think this is Rumiko Takahashi's worst series, but Shishomaru's in it, so he's that nigga. He's the goat. En français. Go ahead, Vince. Speak about it.
All right, so what are we on? We're on 21.
Anyone?
You stupid.
Yeah, 21 is Radiant, and I remember this because I'm not gonna lie, this completely shocked me. I had no idea that I was gonna like this story this much because everybody on TL said it sucked, blah blah blah, this that, and the other. Nah, that shit is really really good. It's one of the best fantasy manga I've ever read, especially since that's really hard to do in manga usually, and just in the Japanese medium, it's not seem to be the kind of their thing. But Radiant, well, technically it's made by a French guy, but Radiant's just really good. I think it does some of the stereotypical things there, but I think the characters react in a way more realistic way. I think the relationships have more nuance to them, more ups and downs, and I just kind of recommend everybody to read that. I think it's if you like kind of shonen style stuff, it'll be in your alley, but it's a little bit more with the character work than a lot of stuff, and I just think it's really, really good. It's a lot better than you actually will think it is in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I have to really, really like give it like really dive into it.
I think you'll like it. You might not like it as much
No,
as I
I
did,
liked
but
what I
I
was
think you'll like
reading, and I was reading it in
it.
French.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh,
See,
I
you
don't
should.
like it. I'm stopping. Or just like one of the only just kind of fall off. It just was like this one
Yeah, you're
moment.
just doing other shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we have done.
Lizard.
Mine
Love is
is
War.
a yes. Love is War. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. My favorite rom com. It's a really well done rom com. Which is I like the concept is funny as fuck. The main two characters, though they love each other, but they want the other to confess because their pride is too high. Uh, I think the mangaka was able to do interesting. Just he's evolving from doing that where a lot of the beginning parts is constantly trying to have battles to see who can win and try to make the other confess, and then it changes and how that changes when they confess to each other and how the relationship changes and like um how he's able to change like not really make it seem like oh we missed the part where they were competing with each other. The cast is funny and amazing as fuck. I like Ishigami is a really good those downer kind of characters really well done. Chika, really dumbass, but I love her. The cast is really well done. Shout out Ai Asaka, she moved me.
Is it done yet?
And yeah, oh yeah, it's finished. It's been finished. It's finished
How
last
many
year.
chapters?
It's 281 chapters.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah,
Not bad at all.
that's my biggest
Okay.
problem. That's my biggest problem with this story. I think it's pretty good as well,
I feel like
but
concepts
it
like these are
again,
not made to last that long.
yeah, it's not
It's just
made
not
that
going to keep
long.
my
Yeah, I
Nah,
attention.
agree.
see,
That's my
I
issue.
agree.
It's like Niseko. I
It feels
liked
like
it
it
for a
feels like
while. I
it
was like,
drag.
y'all still going?
It,
Shut up.
it's my
see,
problem. It's the webtoon. It's the webtoon problem for me
Yeah.
with a lot of these slice of life and stuff like that. It's like at some point you kind of dragging your feet, which is kind of
see,
around.
I feel the
it
same
kind
way
of
about Detective Conan. I'm like, bro, figure this shit out already.
see
They're like
that's what it
1,200
is, but
chapters in. Stop.
I think this does well because they go from not couple to couple, so the whole dynamic change makes it interesting and like
I like
but
what
yeah.
I
Well,
read, though,
also
at
I
least
know it was playing off the other characters too. It's not just on them. It's kind of does like some other thing, but I think it's really hard for kind of romantic comedies to go past. What did I say? It's like once you get past like 120 to 150 kind of range, kind of
Yeah,
going long for me. For just
I
for
think
but yeah, I need to read it again. I have to look at it. I got tired. I'm not gonna lie, I got fatigued reading it. I was like, I'm tired of this.
Mhm.
I'm tired of
yeah,
this, Grandpa.
that's too damn bad.
That's too damn
Yeah, yeah.
bad. Go
How
ahead,
about that?
Pat.
Number 21.
My ex always says that
Bleach.
shit. I'm tired of this grandma house. Go, that's too damn bad. Go ahead.
Oh, Bleach, but he got a
Bleach.
24 on it. I'm crying.
Broke it up!
Oh,
I'm done.
What? Why did you have her on the damn screen if you're gonna do all that?
Because look at this. Oh, look at the
No,
fucking
no, no.
body
You're right. This is
cover.
a rise pick. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Imminent guy. Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
crying because it's 21, but he got 24 on it.
Hey, I can't help the fact that it was volume
He got
24.
the Kobe number, but it's Tim Duncan in the ranking. This is
Oh
crazy.
shit. Shot Timmy.
No, that's all I gotta say. Rukia. I already
Oh,
spoke
okay.
about it on anime.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
on the anime. Yeah, I spoke about it too, kind of.
yeah. Byakuya is the best character.
Hey,
Not
let's
Rukia?
go.
Rukia is second best.
Wow.
She's the best female character in
They're
my
brother
heart.
and sister, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Well,
Okay, then
No
that
well,
makes
relation.
sense.
Yes,
yeah.
but kind of no, but yes.
Not kinda. They are the
They
brother and
are
sister
legally.
legally by marriage.
Yeah.
He's
But
Cause
no, but yes.
his sister-in-law.
yeah.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Um,
Either way, yeah.
mine is for 21. Oni Wani Master Kurosawa.
Akazum.
Hey, read that, man. What did I say?
Well, that's a crazy picture. Why did you use
I
that?
just
because
got
I'm a
my
Zoom
whole
because
book of
I need to
mangas
get the point
spread
across.
all over it.
this is this
Onani
this
Master Kurosawa. Okay.
I
it is
don't even
absolutely
want to
incredible.
laugh.
It is amazing.
Great story.
It
It
is
really
literally
is.
called Masturbation Master
Do
Kurosawa.
not say the English name, man.
My
I gotta
God.
do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I've already spoken about this for like the last 3 years because it's always been on my manga list, so it's not like it's my first time talking about it. But it's just kind of like Chikano Toko, where it completely misleads you with the title and how things start off, and it has a complete paradigm shift in it, and it actually ends up becoming a really endearing story with romance and acceptance and moving on from mistakes and things of that nature. To make a long story short, he gets caught what he's doing. He gets to go into if I remember correctly, he gets to go in the woman's bathroom. Basically, imagine somebody and then beat his dick to it, and he got fucking caught.
Yeah.
And then she had him like basically enacting justice. Like, I don't like this bitch. Come in her flute. It's actually crazy, but it completely turns around on his head, and it's really good. I highly recommend it.
It's the most
Wait,
unhinged shit
wait a
I've ever
minute. You
heard.
mean you're not supposed to come in women's food?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't
We're
think you're
not
supposed to
gonna.
do that, man.
Reaver, what the hell, man?
It's time for him to
Dude,
go to bed.
it is not. We
When
do
they
not
asked for
condone.
sour cream, I mean, I
No,
didn't know
no,
what they
sir.
meant.
No, sir. That's the white Canadian in you. Never again.
What?
Don't do
Oh,
that. You're on a public forum. Somebody just clip this right now and get you out of here.
I know.
You're
You
Luckily, I'm
think
not important
Master
enough.
Roshi is
20,
my real name?
20. Tasogare Otome X Amnesia. The running theme you're gonna see with mine is that I have a lot of romance series, whether they're etchy, they're usually etchy. Listen, if there's romance and they're not fucking, get it the fuck away from me. Talk about some nigga kun, and you blush and you run away. Keep that shit far from me. With a 10 foot, 100,000 pole, goddamn power pole. I don't want to see that shit. But they fucking, I'm in there. Anyways, this is a tragic story about a ghost that passed away, and a student and a ghost that basically fall in love, and then they're like, it's like a really endearing love story related to that. I'm not gonna say anything more, but I think it's not a long read. It's really good. Yiddies, ghosts. I'm trying to fuck with ghosts. All right, Pat. Funny.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
I'm
number
coming to
20
you
is
next,
Dragon
Reaver.
Ball. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I already spoke about how much of an impression the
Four
anime
finger
left on me
Piccolo, just how
from
I
a young.
like it.
Oh wait,
Yes,
wait. Dragon Ball's 20 for you? Wow, we just go
yes,
to me.
and
Dragon
in
Ball.
manga.
Dragon Ball's also 20 for me.
Okay.
In manga.
Look
So
at
there
that.
we go.
We winning today.
Yeah, I think that's the first time that's ever happened. In the exact same ranking. So
Yes, I like the anime and the manga for different things. I think
yeah, I'll
Toriyama,
say
when it
this.
comes to
I'll have to.
paneling,
Oh, go ahead.
is one of the best ever. Well, he's one of, if not the best ever, when it comes to paneling his fights
I have to
and
say,
action
if
sequences are so
people
good.
are really stupid, man. Like
Yes,
please,
yes, they
like
are.
y'all really just don't read Dragon Ball. Like just go read Dragon Ball and then read Dragon Ball Z. Like people keep acting like it's some nostalgia thing to act like this series is good. It's not. This series
It's
is
really fucking good.
legitimately like really fucking
It,
good.
and
It's
why has it
insane.
lasted for almost 40 years? Because it's good. That's
Yeah, this
literally
is
what it
not
is.
a oh we thought it was good. Like no, this is legitimately good. It was good the entire time.
People
You
pretend.
know what kills
People
me?
pretend
People will come to
like
me and
the
be like,
Macy's
"Oh,
Day
I never read it."
Parade doesn't have a Goku floating it for a reason or some shit. Like that's how
Every
much of an impression Dragon Ball has made on the West. Like Pokemon, I don't see fucking any other. I don't see any of your other manga characters, Japanese manga characters, in the Macy's Day fucking
The
parade.
fuck is
Even
a
up here in
Macy's Day
Canada, we
parade?
know that shit's this shit. And you got a Pikachu float, and you got a Goku float.
Hell's a I don't, anyways. Shout out to Dragon Ball. Akira
all
Toriyama,
I'm gonna say
action
is
elite.
a lot of people will talk down on it, and you ask them if they've ever read it, and they'll tell you no. And that just
Yep.
tells me everything I need to know right then and there.
Mm.
It's a really fun series. It starts off a little slow, but once it gets rolling, oh my god, it doesn't stop for like 200 chapters.
I don't think Dragon Ball's slow, honestly. That's just me though.
In the very beginning, like with
I
the
really
Pilaf
don't.
shit.
I love Kid Goku. He was entertaining the fuck out of me.
No, I like Kid Goku, but I'm just saying, like what they were doing, like searching for the Dragon Balls and stuff. Initially, I wasn't too fond of it, but then once the first tournament came around and stuff like that, from that point on, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Like, well, fair enough, I guess. Nothing worse than
Yeah, it's different style of comedy. You know, it's very of its time as far as the comedy could be outdated. A lot of body part, humor and stuff like that. But you know, it's different. But I didn't mind it. But yeah, it's not for everybody. But yeah, when the fighting starts, for sure.
Griever, you're next.
Okay, so for my 20, I'm going Suzuka from Seo Koji. Um, Honestly, I could have picked a lot of Seo Koji works. He started to piss me off with Fuka too much. Um, like he gave me my happy ending in Suzuka back in like 2004, and now all of a sudden you're gonna make heartbroken fucking divorce-ridden parents by 2015. I'm not a happy camper, so fuck it. But at the time, Suzuka was my poor 15-year-old self. I just wanted to be in a romance manga, like I was in junior high, didn't, was awkward, didn't know how to talk to girls, that kind of shit, not good at sports, like the classic shonen thing or the shoujo thing, right? So it was an escape sort of thing for me, and it had the sport element, the track and field and stuff, and I was always a good runner, so I was like, oh well, maybe I've so it inspired me to be a little more confident and stuff like that. It was a really good romance series. Yes, of course, it takes itself too seriously, like so many others do, but I just really loved it, and it's always stayed as a staple of my mind. And when I was trying to draw better, when I was trying to increase my artistic skills, um, it's one of the ones that I did that way to learn how to panel and do drawings better. I would always do the whole thin paper over a lot of panels of Seo Koji's work to try to learn how to do his art style and stuff like that. So I really like the art style. And yeah,
This is one of my friend's favorite series. He likes this a lot too.
it's good.
Lizard,
It's good.
you're up to bat twice.
Yeah, my 20 is Blue Period. I said I love manga with blue in it, and I do. Blue Period is just a story about almost like a delinquent. He's a delinquent, but he actually gets really good grades. It's just like he's smart, but it's just like he's just smart and like he studies well. But it's not like he's really passionate about it. But then he takes he's forced to take an art class, and he really like he falls in love with the concept of art, and it's just him trying to do everything to become an artist. The first part of the series is trying to get into art school, and now in the second part, which is him in art university. I just love series like I talked about the Blue Giant, but series where the the main character finds his passion, this intense passion he has, and he decides to go for it regardless of consequences or regardless of what other people might think. Because being an artist is hard. Getting to art school is insanely hard, and he just decides to do it. There's also like some small things I like. I like the fact that in this series, which is it's something small, which I don't, that most people wouldn't really care about, is it one of the beginning things is MC getting drunk with his friends in high school, which is more like I'm tired of people acting like that doesn't happen even in Japanese high schools. I know standard high school shit they show, the MC is super respectable, super nice. He never does anything really that bad. But
You off the sake pack? She.
yeah, I'm sorry, I was coughing. Uh, but yeah, it's really well written, and it really hits hard how he goes for his dream.
Okay. 19.
Sorry about that. My 19 is Zom
Oh, this is a
100.
manga too. Okay. I did not know that.
It's actually, yeah, it was a manga.
What's that new nigga shit?
Listen, it's 20. It came out 2018.
Yeah, new nigga shit. What the fuck? What? You said
Ma-
2018 like that was a long time ago.
Listen, man. If it's manga's good, it's good. Okay.
Okay, hey, go on. Describe your new nigga shit. Go ahead.
Basically, Zom 100 is a story about the MC. He is Akira. He works at a black company, so exploitative. Like he works at a super exploitative company, to the point where he's basically like a zombie. Like to paraphrase thing, he's basically like a zombie. So when an actual zombie
He's a
apocalypse
zombie.
occurs, when an actual apocalypse occurs, instead of being sad or like you're worrying, he's happy because he's out of his dead end
End
job where
job.
he's suffering,
Mm.
and he decides, if I'm gonna become a zombie, I'm gonna do 100 things on my list before I become a zombie. Uh, I think the my favorite part of this series is how this is one of this manga is the definition of fun to me. I just never have a bad time reading this. I'm always having fun reading this. In terms of like the main character Kira, he is always smiling. He always like, yo, I can be sad, but my life before the zombie apocalypse, I was working in the worst shop possible. I mean the worst shop possible. Like the first day he goes there, he they work, they go to a party, they go to some like the welcome party, and instead of going home after that, they go back to the studio, to the company to work again. Like, goddamn, this is life I'm living. I think the characters are really well done, written. I think this is fun but well written series. Like the writing is kind of it it's kind of like, I don't want to say hidden, but like you have to really. It has depth, but it doesn't seem like it. It's like hidden beneath it. Um, Volume, the art is amazing because there's two different guys who did this. Funny enough, the the mangaka that did this also did Alice in Borderland. Um, but yeah, Zom 100. If you want to really, if you want a fun, good time, read Zom 100. It's all 58 episodes, chapters are good thing. I'm actually glad we started this stream a little late because I actually caught up to Zom 100 just before this, so I could change it up and
Wow.
down. But yeah,
Wow. As long
go,
as you like it, Lizardo kun. It's
go ahead,
never
Pat.
getting read, never getting watched. Number
I
19 is
mean,
Vagabond. Uh, it dropped the most of all the shit on my list because he's not touching it. Like I keep waiting. He's just not touching it. But when I read it, it's probably like
Inoue is a bum.
it's completed.
visually, visually it's shut up. Visually, it's the best drawn series I think I've ever seen. The attention to detail is absolutely astounding,
Mhm.
and I love the retelling of the Sasaki Kojiro and Miyamoto Musashi, but he's not finishing it. So like it's gonna keep dropping. I don't know.
Yep. It'll never finish, unfortunately.
Mhm.
A shame, but it is what it is.
See, when I'm there, we getting along. I'm not there infighting. Where's the positivity? I'm tired.
The positivity
uh,
because he's showing new niggas shit.
Man, you gotta give it. You're Yaiba fan. What are you talking about?
Yaiba's not new niggas shit. It's
It is.
finished.
come on, don't do that.
Ah.
Don't do that. He got you at the counterpoint. You gotta concede.
Yeah.
No, look. First of all, he doesn't have a strong
Yeah,
attachment to this shit.
yeah,
Nothing about it
yeah.
is anything that's special to him.
Yeah.
I like Yaiba
Uh,
for a very specific reason. Y'all know that.
I'm surprised Zoom is that high for you though, Lizard. But
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I'm saying. He
Zom.
put it over fucking Villain Saga.
I mean, I enjoyed Zom 100 more. What can I say?
No, I
Okay.
just never heard you talk about it. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
I seen. I
exactly.
I do
watched. I
talk
No,
about
he
watched
it
the
nah
in
he
first.
be
person.
posting the anime shit. I never know there's a
Oh,
manga.
Maybe
okay. I watched the first couple episodes of anime. I enjoy it. I just never expected it to be that high for
I
you.
talk about it.
It's
It's just
cool.
it comes out a volume, like volume wise. I have to wait, right?
Oh, okay, okay. One of those.
But yeah,
Okay,
My number 19 is
What's
okay.
Oretama, which
Taylor's
translates
Naruto?
to my balls. So give you the synopsis. All right, demons, angels, they fighting. You know what I'm saying?
You a funny nigga for this.
Man, I love this fucking manga. So the so I believe it's Lucifer. Lucifer is fighting an angel. I can't remember who it was or something like that. Long story short, the main character is kind of he's a shut in for the most part. He's just a chronic masturbator. And he goes to pee. And he doesn't know in
What
the
the
forest that
fuck?
like those demons are fighting. And basically Lucifer is getting sealed. And one thing leads to another, and the demon literally gets sealed in his nutsack. If he comes, the world ends. It's over. The
What?
world gets destroyed. Well, I
Yeah,
say they send a
it's a
succubi demon at
it's a
him.
crazy
All kind.
case.
Then the girl that
Crazy.
he likes at his work is trying to hit on him, and he's like, "Fuck!" Like I am not allowed to nut. So just a hard time for him. But it's actually a lot more endearing than it seems. It seems very
uh,
hoarse and everything, but it's actually pretty good, all things
Seems like
considered.
a
So yeah,
lot of things.
it's
so
like
yeah.
if I had a nickel for every time Naya did it's a manga series about masturbating, 2 nickels.
Hello, see the two nickels. Go. Everyone did 19, right? So I'm gonna do 18.
Wait, did I?
Uh, I don't even remember. I think. Wait, no,
No,
you
I
didn't.
didn't do
You
19.
didn't.
I did 20.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
did 20. Okay,
Smile
so
down.
what the hell? All
Smile
right,
down,
so
Go
young man.
talk to
19 for
them.
me is
Talk to
Smile Down
them.
the Runway. Smile Down the Runway. I just read this, I want to say like 2 years ago. And honestly, when I first finished it, I was even more gassed than it was. I had to come down from the high a little bit because I gave it a 9 out of 10 first. So I had to come down a little bit. But I just think this is very endearing. I think it's a thing of two people finding their passion for what they want to do. The main heroine wants to be in the fashion industry, be a model, and her friend that joins the way, and eventually the person she ends up being a romance with, he makes clothes. And I think it's just a very beautiful story with their journey. There's not a ton of like extra characters or a lot of things going on, but I think the main focus of those two and just their relationship and the things they go through to achieve their dreams is just really beautiful and really good. And I think the art's beautiful and it does a really emotional moment as well. And it's just a really good slice of life slash romance slash something about the fashion industry and model industry. So I think it's really good. And I recommend if you're into that type of stuff. But if not, then obviously don't look at it. But yeah.
You also skipped my 19, but it's one that was already brought up. It's The Breaker.
Anything you want to say about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great fucking manga. Breaker into Breaker New Waves is fantastic. I will admit that having it switch to a third point, and I won't spoil, but switching it into a webtoon from a manga was very jarring because I'm not a super big fan of, especially for action manga. I think the webtoon format falls flat. Colorization and the top to down does not hold a candle to black and white manga left to right. But it continuing the story wise, doing a pretty good job. Pretty good job character wise and story wise. Um, I'm pretty satisfied with keeping up with Breaker 3. So if you're a meathead and you just want to watch awesome supernatural martial arts go at it, like key based system, go go for it, man. It's a great series.
Okay. Do your 18 one time, I guess.
Oh,
Are we on
my
18?
18.
Actually, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so tired.
Yeah, we're on
Yes, yeah.
18 now.
Okay.
We're on 18 now.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z or
Do
Dragon Ball as a general, just the
Yes,
manga,
it's
the whole.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Uh, it's already been said, but I mean, you know, Dragon Ball is that, like Pat's already said it, like everybody's already said it. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, man. I mean, how can you not have this on your list? It's the goat. It is literally the goat of all shonen battles. It'll always be the grandfather, the godfather, whatever you want to call it, of shonen battle manga. I
it
mean,
isn't, but it's
Vegeta
okay.
is literally one of the
It's
best.
Kinnikuman, but it's okay. You don't.
Well, Kanika Man is up there. Yeah, we can talk about Kanika Man, but um, it's literally stood the test of time.
I just feel like saying it revolutionized anime and stuff in the West and brought it here is the right way of phrasing it instead of calling it the grandfather of shonen. I just think that's so effing wrong, like quite literally historically in terms of the tropes and stuff that it
Okay,
has. It did not start them.
okay,
That's
we'll
my only
agree
point.
that it is the Western. It is the that Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon is the reason the West knows what anime and manga is.
Don't worry, Simi, I'm here. Look, Simi, sipping his tea. Don't
So,
worry, I'm here. I'm the
yeah.
manga historian.
All right, all right. I mean, no, I'm not disagreeing with you, Naya. I do agree.
Oh yeah, I got you.
That yeah, that in Japan, but what Dragon Ball did was globalize it.
And it was
Yeah,
special. It did deviate from a lot of the things that was happening in the '80s, which was more hyper masculinity. So it's not. I'm not trying to discredit it in any capacity.
No, no,
So
no. I do get you is that maybe sometimes it gets more praise for and as you're right,
it's
like
just one of those
historical.
things that people just kind of say and they don't really like research it. I just know better because So yeah.
He
No,
does
I
his
agree.
research.
And Kanika Man was there. Sailor Moon was there. We actually had many. Akira was there. We had a lot of anime over here. They weren't well known, but they were here long before Dragon Ball. But I think Dragon Ball and Pokemon and Sailor Moon, these are the things that left their mark and made them global phenomenons outside of, you know,
Hmm.
just being there. Like Vision of Escaflowne was here at the same time I was watching Dragon Ball. Nobody talks about that shit. You know what I mean? So, or Monster Rancher, or a lot of these series.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I still attribute it to every kid in the West, at the very least. We'll say the West. Vegeta is still one of the fan loved characters of all time. Probably one of the greatest anti heroes or anti whatever you want to call his archetype. He is one of the greatest written, and you know, and Frieza's the goat
I
villain.
think he's Toriyama's best written character.
Yeah,
Um,
Vegeta.
yeah.
yeah.
I think Piccolo
Shadow
has the case. I'm not mad at Piccolo. Song says Piccolo.
Piccolo's got a good
It's
case. Vegeta's got a good
Um,
case.
it's between
Gohan for a
Vegeta,
long
Piccolo, and
time.
Gohan. Yeah.
yeah.
Gohan had a good case, but yeah.
But
Either
Vegeta has
way,
a good
Dragon
character arc.
Ball,
Shadow
iconic
yeah.
greatness.
You're up
Shadow
next, Lizard.
Bulma. My 18 is Tetsugaku Lettera.
I've actually never heard of
This
this at all.
yeah, it was actually yeah. This is yeah, it was on my other list, but yeah. This is a use the infamous word a coming of age story. Only 27 chapters about a boy who basically goes through some shit and he's told by his people that he considers as friends to you know to like they say some really bad shit behind his back and he's like forced to thing then he meets this girl who also he wants to just give up like everything up but he meets this girl and they just got
Simi
decide
say you
to
stat padding.
nah this is not stat padding because it's actually good uh this is a so he like this they switch thing so he gives her his basketball shoes and she gives him her a flamenco or dancing shoes and he this is a story about him trying to learn how to uh learn how to grow grow and like to find a passion in something because he's always really hit it conclusive into himself because of the incidents he had in his past because of his so-called friends. So he decides to get into Spanish dancing or flamenco. It's really well written. It's only 27 chapters. The art is beautiful. Art was actually done by Sumeko Yumeka, which is like she's done one of my favorite artists. She's done what's this one called? Like the more probably the most popular one is our Happy Time. Is it that one? This is some really famous one she did that I think a lot of people would know her from. 27 chapters. Art is well done. The character is well done. That he has two friends that they also have their own issues. That like one of his friends goes through extreme eating disorders because of his looks, and they tackle that issue. But yeah, 27 chapters really well written.
Sure. All right. It's not long though, so maybe one day. I think you're next, Pat, right? Yeah.
It's my turn.
Yep. Oh, yeah, talk
Okay.
about it.
So number 18,
Yeah.
Crows. It's one of the very new additions to the list.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
such a soft spot for delinquent series.
Finally, some real manga.
This shit right here, man. I was having such a blast just reading niggas go, huh? Oh, ora, all fucking day. But the reason I like delinquent type series is because a lot of these youth are just misunderstood. They come from bad homes or they're not particularly good at school. So they have no other choice but to act out for any semblance of attention because they're not getting it. And really, at their core, a lot of them are not bad people. In fact, a lot of them have hearts of gold. You see the camaraderie that they have after they just throw some fisticuffs with each other for a little bit. They start becoming friends. They form bonds. They navigate through life together. They grow up. And it's like a lot of the things that they touch upon in Crows, I think is really, really well done subtly. Like finding a way in life after high school, or seeing what happens when delinquents take one step too far in the wrong direction and they fall down the wrong path in life. It's just so good. And then Crows is funny as shit. Like, boy,
Yeah.
would be having me crying, man. They would be like, let me have it. No.
That's my
Let me
favorite
have it. No.
manga MC lead for a reason.
Let me have it. No. Let me have it. Okay.
Can I borrow your bike? No. Could I borrow your bike? No. Fucking cry tosses in the neck. Yes, you can have it. Okay, he's a bully. He's a goat, bro. I love this nigga so much.
Yeah, it has some of the best fights I've ever read, too. Woo, my God. I was getting up.
Rinda. Um, 18 for you. Vince.
18 World Trigger. Um, this is just unique from the standpoint that one, this is one of the most competent organizations that you'll ever see in any type of manga. We're not used to organizations being competent. It's a very competent organization, and all three main characters get shine. That's the first two start off kind of slow. First is kind of the Yuma show for a while, but they both eventually get some time. They pick it up after a while. And just like I love that everybody in War Trigger, the side characters, just all competent and they all get to play a very important part, and none of them just stink. Because a lot of times you have side characters and they're not very well utilized, stuff like that, and all of these guys are really good. And I think that is worth everything is this for. And then obviously they fixed the anime because the anime was not doing, and then the writer got sick and all sorts of stuff happening. And the new seasons of the anime are really good, and just yeah, I just think it's one of those things you should read. Really, really good,
Reaver.
good stuff.
Reaver.
Is Full Metal Alchemist. Now, like once again, this is something like, in my opinion, Death Note and Inuyasha is better as an anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, and there's an argument for both, but Full Metal Alchemist is one of those that I would argue is almost a completely perfect story. It doesn't go too long. This is the biggest problem with so many shonen mangas, is that the author wants to end it, and then the editors are like, but it's super popular, you got to continue the story. No, it doesn't happen with Death Note, and it doesn't happen with Full Metal. It's like, no, this is the end of the story. It's a complete page 1 to page 100. It's done. And it happens so well. The emotional highs are fantastic. It's just, I I can't praise it enough. The power system is so unique, but also never there's never an issue. You know, I can explain away. So many people have come at me whenever I say this is a perfect manga or a perfect story or whatever. They come at me with, well, there's a plot hole. No, there's not. I can beat that. There's a power system problem. No, there's not. I can beat that. I have beaten every allegation over 20 fucking years on the internet, beating Full Metal Alchemist, saying that even if you don't think because it's just not your cup of tea that it's not 10 out of 10, there's literally no plot continuity problems. There's no errors. It's literally written to a degree that you could argue if you want to say it's not perfect, that's fine, but it's got no flaws at the very least.
That's an interesting take. I don't remember it well enough to say yes. I don't like hate or love Full Metal Alchemist, so I like it's good. It's not my favorite thing in the world.
Uh, what are we at?
I think we're on 17. Everyone is 17, right? Am
Nah,
I
let me do
Yep,
No,
17.
we
or
didn't
am
do
I tripping?
17.
Oh, am I on
Uh,
17?
we're on 17.
No, we're
Yeah.
on
We're
17.
on
Sorry.
17
So
now.
you just did your 17 or you just did 18?
No, that was my 18. I finished off 18.
So do
okay,
17
then
one time.
Oh,
Let's do
sorry.
17 one time then. Then go
Yeah.
next, Lizard.
No, sorry, that was my 17. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, okay. Lizard. Uh,
17. Wow. My 17 is wow, another Ursa work. Shout out Billy Bat. One of the most unique premises I've ever seen. Like the fact that the comic book you created turns almost turns into real life, and it's like it evolved this high skill, um, high like level of high conspiracy, like 20th Century Boys. I think this is one of his, yes, like his most unique premise in terms of like how could you think of that, but he still managed to execute it on a high level. Um, I like both main characters, like both of them, and how they work. I think Ursa. I don't need to say much. Say about, but Ursa is the master of psychological anime. I mean psychological manga, so you already know it's gonna be good. Uh, also has that one infinite scene with Einstein and Thing, the panel.
what? Oh, sorry.
That
Uh,
infamous panel with Einstein and
okay.
yeah.
I was damn. I was literally in the middle of a boss fight.
Uh,
uh,
yeah, it's really well done. I think the mystery is really well held. When I say psychological, his mystery game is insanely well or good as well.
I
And
agree.
yeah,
Scope. This is one of his best. I think it's his top three in the top three for.
this is actually second best because there's one more spoiler alert. But yeah, that's Billy Bat.
Oh, ow. Pat.
Number 17
Mhm.
is The Breaker. That includes part one and New Waves. Just hands on top of hands on top of hands. Elder Quan is one of the rawest old niggas I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. Oh my god.
Vince.
You mean you don't like the Nine Arts Dragon?
17
Gumurion,
for
cool,
me
but
is
he's not an elder.
Tepu. Tepu, we already talked about that. This is the biggest drop for me. This went from the top 10 to 17 after rereading it. I still love it a lot, still means a lot to me, but just didn't age as well as I getting older. But yeah. So, but it's still really, really good. I still recommend it. I just kind of wish it got the ending it really deserved, and
Sam.
unfortunately didn't get stuff like that.
What can you do? My 17 is Nanato Kawaru, something that was mentioned earlier. The thing that I wanted to just add, it's BDSM, right? So, I told you I like my romance with a little bit of sexiness in it. And essentially it's like a loser kid who doesn't really care about school or anything like that, but he does care about like
And he
his long
ugly as fuck.
he's ugly as hell, boy.
Ugly
Got
ass
them
little
frog
nigga,
looking
man.
eyes, bowl cut,
Yeah.
he's short, he look like he stink. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But she likes him, she cares about him, and basically she accidentally comes into his room and finds out that he has like a those like BDSM like outfits, whatever, that fits her proportions like perfectly. And she's a straight A student who does all of her work. And basically she's under a lot of pressure and like their quote unquote breathing sessions where they practice like BDSM and all that stuff, S&M, is what helps her like relieve stress and then like be fine for studying in school like that. And then you see how they both develop in their relationship and life and school and things of that nature. It's very, very, very good. One of
Don't
my
forget,
favorites.
it's not a break, it's called a breather, Naya.
There you go.
I love
Um,
that manga. I love that you have that on that list, man. That is a good take.
yep. Ibitsu, Okada, Kazuto, another series from him that I hold in high regard will be up here. I talk about this all the time. This was during the phase where I was very much into those more perverted series where the woman was the dominant figure, kind of bullying and carrying around like a loser, I guess, male MC for whatever reason. And this guy makes like like dolls and stuff, like mannequins. I think is it like mannequins and stuff, and then a high schooler comes to live with him, and yeah, things get interesting. Things get interesting. It's one of my absolute favorites. I'll kind of like circle back to a little bit of what it's about when I get to the next series that I like the most about this mangaka. And Pat's gonna give him a 16. I'm gonna tinkle real quick. Just yeah, I'll be right back. But yeah, I'm listening though.
Okay. Number 16 is Slam Dunk. Inoue defeated the I don't finish shit allegations with this fucking manga. It's actually the first manga I ever read, and it's still one of my favorites. Every time I go back to it, I fall in love with it all over again. The panel where Mitsui looks back at Anzai Sensei with tears in his eyes, and he says he wants to play basketball again when he drops to his knees. I think that's like one of the most emotionally gripping things I've ever read. Like not even just manga, like just period, like everything I've ever read. I love his comeback story too. Like it's just fabulous. And then you got uh Ryota Miyagi. If you haven't seen the Slam Dunk movie yet, they put so much respect on his name. It was just beautiful. That movie, I was honestly on the fence about the whole CGI thing, but they did a really good fucking job. But yeah, this manga for a long time it was the mountain, like the pinnacle of sports manga for me. It has long since been surpassed, but it's still really good. I think uh Shohoku versus Sano is one of the greatest sports manga matches ever. For a long time, it was number
I'm
one,
back.
but it's just so good, so good. You should read Slam Dunk. It's hilarious. It's got a really good developmental story with Hanamichi. Hanamichi is a lot more deep than most people realize, and I think
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
not
get the praise
Kurokoro.
that it deserves.
Cut
Okay.
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
it out.
That was funny.
I don't know
That
why
was
I came in the room and said that. Lizard
funny.
16. Maybe he's eating. All right, Vince, give me 16.
Did he die already? That's crazy.
No,
Anyway,
I'm here.
60 for me is Blame, Blom. I think it's Blom. With the explanation point. I legitimately think this is another sci-fi. I legitimately think this is the most unique manga I've ever read, like ever.
It's got very good
And
environmental storytelling.
it is very non-dialogue heavy. There's barely any dialogue in here at all,
Yeah, the art speaks for
and that's
itself.
what makes it kind of
Tagashi.
cool. Yeah, and yeah, that's what makes it really cool. And it's just like you have to draw inf- inference and kind of come to your own conclusions and stuff like that. And that's why I think that makes it really fun. I really enjoy doing that. And honestly, on reread, it might get even higher. I can see a scenario where one day even maybe gets to my top 10 because I did not expect to really like this manga as much as I did. I really fucking like this manga.
You go next, Reaver. 16.
Oops.
Okay, before I give my 16, if you're talking about the one where the buddy makes the dolls and we have the most tragic ending that made me cry into my pillow, I don't know what we're talking about here, man. That shit scarred me for a lot of reasons, but I think I know which manga you were referring to. Um, yeah, my 16 is much more wholesome than that. It's Maid Sama, which once again will never get a season 2 because, you know, there's too much sexuality going on there, but and misogyny going on there. But it has the Demon Princess, a female who has taken over an all boys school, a school that has fucking been traditionally an
Is this
all
it?
boys school. Sorry, I'm not on your stream right now. I'm on mobile.
Oh, is it Hiro Fujiwara?
No, it should be Koichi. Give me 2 seconds. I can jump down to
You
the
said
favorite
Maid
chat.
Sama, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like Koichiro made somehow or something, but I can't say the right word. Um, Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
one. So yeah. So what this is about is that there's a woman who it was not a co-ed school. It became a co-ed school, and the main character, our female, decided to like she became the student council president, as we all know. Councils are like manga universe, and she is known as the Steven President, blah blah blah. But the thing is, her family's really fucking poor, so she works at a maid cafe, very popular in Japan, and stuff like that. The idea is being the strong-willed. I'm a strong, independent woman who needs no man, but working as at a maid cafe sort of kind of contradictory a little bit. So the idea is not to get the secret found out. One of the favorite, high school like dream queen boys is finds out, and dynamics ensue. It's a slice of life romance comedy manga. It's a lot of fun because the characters drive this story. We've seen 1,000 of these manga, but it drives the story 100%. Great characters.
Okay. Um, who's
I am
next?
here.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Those
actually here.
articles.
My 16. I was here before, but my bad. My 16 is but two. This is the second of two, one of the two Toshio Sako manga you will see on here. The other one is gonna be way higher. This is a story about a girl who she always finds something. She discovers the through a this homeless guy she meets on thing in the park. She learns the martial arts of capoeira and the intense joy you can get from that. This and then it's about a story about how she becomes an insanely good capoeira sort thing, but it changes. Like, slight spoiler: it turns like her family isn't really her family because her family, her real parents are like these Brazilian mafia leaders, and she basically has to get stronger through the fight through her capoeira and the fight she has throughout the series to confront her real family and the stuff she has and to protect the fake family or the family that she grew up with that turned out to be her fake family. The art is amazing. I think Toshi Sako. This is his second work, and he really his art like you can really tell his art is insane. One of my favorite artists, manga artists of all time. The fights are amazing. I
This
think
looks clean. I like how this looks.
yeah, the one of the best things, and I like you'll see one of the other books. I think I like when a series where the mangaka is a fan of the stuff he does, because fun fact, the mangaka of Batuk actually does capoeira himself, and he's a really big fan of it. Like you can go to his thing, and he's like doing capoeira, he participating in these
But can he beat a
competitions,
gun?
like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just keep talking.
maybe.
Just keep talking. Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm sorry. Ignore me.
Uh, I love Ichiri as MC, the way she grows from like just timid girl, like it goes from her as a child to her in her high school, the way she like grows more confident and unlocks this like hidden potential inside of her of because of her bloodline of her because of like her bloodline and where she come from. So well done, like Yongo. I love some of the M's, like one of the um villains in this. He's the definition of rawness and swag. Like he's the kind of guy to just let you punch him so you can punch you harder, type of shit. So yeah,
Okay.
read this.
So here's what I want to do. We're doing 15 to 11. Okay, and
Hmm.
keep it brief.
Now you speaking my language.
Yeah, keep it
There
brief
you go.
because I said be concise, and we doing way too much talking. All right.
Yeah.
Chicano Toko's my 15. All right. Yo, it's
Let's
my
go.
weekend, man. I'm tired. Chicano Toko, you spoke about it earlier. I love that. I just love how a misunderstanding turns into this. I actually think it's a pretty hyper realistic love story with how it goes because she was so unserious for a while for like um she was on some modern womanism, man. It was not moving me, but I really love this series. It's really good. And Chikana Toko was what do you make Molester Man was another wait. The fuck is the other one called? Oh,
Uh,
thing Oni Master Kurosawa, that's the one. A Girl by the Shore is my favorite series by Inio Sano. I know most people like Oyasumi Pumpun the most, but I thought this was his most endearing story. It moved me tremendously. Solomon would be my second favorite, but I think this is really, really, really good. It's really beautiful. I thought like the story of exploring these two teenagers and the kind of depressed kid was very fire. I know, but also Pat has work, bro. So like, I don't want to keep him longer than he needs to. Obviously, if he needs to go, he could just go. He's a grown ass man. But I'm not gonna rush through the top 10, but I'm trying to get to the top 10. Is really my point.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
same.
Dino Ace is my 13. This is the pinnacle of sports manga to me. Absolutely the greatest. I do like the manga a bit more than I do like the anime, though I think the anime is absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's necessarily inferior. It's just there's something about the intensity and the way he draws the pitching and the pitches. It's so good. I love it. I have so many panels from this manga, and I do think he illustrates it really well and gets like the emotions and everything across absolutely perfectly. So I really have no smoke or heat with the manga. This is another thing that broke into my top 30 pretty quickly, all things considered, and I love it a lot. It is now completed, and yeah, I picked the most one of the most unhinged panels. That's us. That's just me and the boys chilling,
Nothing.
man. Double cheeked up,
The,
sacks
the
out
fourth.
in the in the in the hot springs. Golden Kamui. God, I love this series. Go. If you think about it, 7 hours total. Yeah. So, Golden Kamui, I highly recommend it. Gotta find that Ainu Gold, man. Hina Hina. Um,
You have
Hetakoi,
the,
one of my favorite romance manga. You keep seeing this theme. I got a lot of romance manga on here that's more adult like. He had the nickname and moniker of like granddad or grandpa because he was young but has an old soul, something that I can relate to. So I really like this character a lot. And then we'll get into my top 10 later on for my gatekeeper, but that is my 15 to 11. Pat.
Okay, so
Hey.
it's funny that he brought up Golden Kamuy because number 15 is actually Golden Kamuy on my list. But this is another new entry on the list. Golden Kamuy is just it's fun. That's the best way I could put it. It's fun.
I think
There,
it
you're
really is
not
fun,
gonna
but I
go
really
more than
think when you got into some of the interconnected stories with the characters in the past and how they connect to the present with
oh
the
yeah,
Ainu
yeah,
Gold,
yeah, yeah,
it
for
really
sure.
did come full circle. But I'm with you, yeah.
Yes, but what my thing is like everybody wants to have fun when they're reading something, so you're not gonna go more than 3 chapters without having a laugh. It's impossible. But the backstories on some of these characters is absolutely phenomenal. Sugimoto, I think, is a really, really good MC. I love Aserpa. Aserpa is also a really good female lead, and like the supporting cast around them. Like you see, I put Hijikata Toshizo. That nigga raw. I
Yeah.
love raw old niggas. It does something to me. Like I'd be like, when I hit that age, I want to be like that. But yeah, I thought the ending was really good. Um, I gotta reread it in full when I get the chance. But I enjoyed
Surumi, I think,
every
is one
bit
of the
of it.
greatest antagonists I've read in recent manga history.
Yes, yes. His backstory was absolutely phenomenal. It threw me for a loop.
Mhm.
Uh, number 14, Hajime no Ippo. Um, there's not really much more I can say about Ippo. It's extremely inspirational, motivational. The art in Ippo constantly gets better as it goes on, and I'm absolutely at a loss for how uh Morikawa is keeping this up because he's been going strong since 1989. This man is made of different stuff. He's made of different stuff. He will drop like 3 Ippo chapters and be like, take them, enjoy them, and then drop like 2 more in a week. I don't know how he does it. That number down there, the bottom left, it's not a typo. That's volume 129.
some people
Real
just
legendary shit.
Yep.
work ethic shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Number 13, Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, like I said, is Togashi's best series. Um, I like the anime more than the manga, but the manga has certain things that the anime does not have, like the introductory arcs when Yusuke was still a ghost, and you get to see what kind of person he really is. The one I really like is like when that one girl got dumped by her who she thought was her boyfriend because she was a ghost too. She had died and she couldn't pass on because like she was waiting for him. And then like she found out that he had been playing her all this time, and he comes and he consoles her and comforts her and stuff like that. And she has like literally the best day ever, and she could pass. And I was like, this is why I like Yusuke because he has a heart of gold. But yeah, I think Togashi back at this time when he was doing Yu Yu Hakusho was at his best because he focused less on text, more on drawing. I think his visual expressions for characters, like soft expressions, is one of the best ever. It's definitely worth a read. Uh, Number 12, also a big drop. This used to be in my top five. Berserk. Berserk was my top five, but Mura unfortunately passed away, and I have to drop it because we'll never really get his true vision. But that doesn't negate everything that we've seen thus far. I think this is absolutely one of the best manga ever created. It's a shame that his health was failing him, so he had to like take multiple hiatuses. But I think Guts' journey from the very beginning up until he's an adult is one of the most tragic pieces I think I've ever read, but also really satisfying at the same time. There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but I think it's worth the read, even though it's you're not gonna really see how Mira wanted to end it. Uh, and number 11, another series that fell out of my top 10 because top 10
Every
just
time I
that
see
good.
Holy Lies, think
Holy
of
Land,
Kyle. Shit was so funny, but keep going.
yeah, Holy Land. It's hands, bro. Like literally, it's just hands.
Yeah.
The nigga, you start off. This nigga is beating niggas' asses in a bathroom, bro. And they just fight for like 200 chapters, and it's gas. That nigga right there, that's
Hey,
carrying the MC, Izawa Misaki. He
that
just
book was the ultimate tutorial. Niggas hating.
That nigga sat in the dark, read a book, and worked
but
out in a home gym, and turned into God of martial arts. I
yeah,
couldn't believe it.
he
I couldn't
practiced.
believe.
He practiced the form. He was in his room studying, practicing, putting the work in. And then he came out there,
You know
and
what,
when it was time to fight,
Pat?
he didn't
I
reach
don't
up.
blame you for this. It's not your fault, but I hate that little nigga, man.
That nigga was getting dubs.
I actually find people who know martial arts hate this fucking manga. If you actually martial arts, they don't vibe with it.
I'm trying to tell you. I did not study
Because
martial
my
arts
boy
for 10
Carlton's the
years for this
same
little
way.
nigga to
He's
learn
like,
it from a
no,
book, bro.
he read a book. I'm not trying to hear this. I said, all right,
He
man.
read a book, bro. There's no fucking way. You read a book, you start knocking niggas out. I'm not trying to hear
It used to be in my top 30 though. All right, Lizard, 15 to
My
11.
15 to sorry, let me get to it. My 15 Monster. Pat already talked about it. My favorite
Shout out to
Urasawa
Johan
work.
Liebert.
Yeah,
I think it's a
Johan won the
very
greatest.
strong start, by the way. It's really it entices you very quickly with the Johan stuff. But keep going.
Johan won the greatest antagonist in manga history. Tenma, their dynamic is really well done. The journey and like the whole
What's that
thing.
girl's name again?
I'm not sure my
The
Which
girl
memory.
one?
that
Anna,
like
Anna,
yeah
Johan's
Anna,
sister, right?
Hannah? His
yeah
sister?
Lieber. Yeah,
what a bitch. What a twat
Nah,
waffle.
hey, look. When that nigga Johan took off the wig, nigga. Oh my god. I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, no. That plot twist was crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think Pat talked about a lot. I love the psychological thing. I love the concept of, ultimate good versus evil, as Pat said.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah,
14.
this monster 14 is Haikyuu. I love. I'd probably say I love the manga more, but they're really close to me. Um, I think he just executes he insanely well drawn art. Executes the fights. The fights seem hype, even if it wasn't. Like I watched the anime, so my standards of hype were really high, but he managed to exceed them. Uh, some of the best sports matches I've seen him them versus the twins, the Mia twins is one of my favorite matches. Funny enough, my 13 and 12 was actually Naya's step, so my 13 is Golden Kamui.
Hey.
Uh, both of you talked about it. I love it. It's the most insanely batshit humor comedy possible. They have them fighting bears and fighting crazy trying to like collect human skins. And I was talking about with Batuka, like series where the mangaka loves the thing they're into, and you can tell the care and love the mangaka Noda has for
Satoru Noda.
Ainu culture.
He's
Yeah,
unhinged, but I love him.
Yeah, well,
That skeet match was actually unhinged. That's the most unhinged thing
Yeah,
he did.
yeah.
That
uh,
was
That was the strangest thing I've
I was
ever read in
actually
my life.
disturbed, but I laughed though. But I was like, bro, what do you want? Go back to the
but yeah,
bear. The bear was less weird to me.
oh, that bear, man! Imagine saying
that
that
was
bear scene is
that was
the
less
worst.
weird to me, and I know
But
what's weirder. But
you can
keep
tell he
going.
loves Ainu culture, and you can tell he has a lot. Like, shout out the teams that
Yeah,
the people that translated it. You could see the love for the culture, the reference he has.
these are a
Number
lot of good
12 is
translator notes.
yeah. You can like when you read the translated, it's like, oh shit, this is reference to that. I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
My 12 is Diamond Ace. Again, a lot of us talked about it. I even talked about it in my thing. There's only Act 2 because I didn't watch Act 1. But I didn't read Act 1. I watched it. And, I think they're pretty good. Act
Mhm.
2, amazing. It just picks up from the anime and it adapts everything well. Hype moments are hype. I always feel, I'm like, yo, let's go. Uh, but yeah, my 11 is Twin Star Exorcist. This is Exorcist manga. Probably my favorite Exorcist manga. Yeah, my favorite Exorcist manga about these two kids that don't like each other, but they have to get married because their kid will become the one that saves them from the demons they're constantly trying to hide. And it is a super bloody series, and the art is well done. But I just love the romance between Rokuro and Benio, the main guy and girl, and how they grow. They literally go from kids to like now they're in their 20s, and their romance develops. But yeah, so that's my gatekeeper. We're in the the actually in the final arc, and he's been hitting it out of the park with this final arc. So if it goes all the way, it might be higher. But yeah,
Yeah, I left Twin Star off my list because I went too long without reading it, and now I have to read it all over again to
you'll
remind
like
myself why I liked it so much. But I
You'd be like
know
that.
it's gonna be like in my 20-ish area. I
no,
really like Twin Star.
yeah.
Vince, 15 to 11.
Okay, so for me, Kasane, that's a new addition. It's about an ugly girl who has this mysterious power with this lipstick that she got from her mom. Very interesting, very different from anything you ever read. Don't want to give too much away. You should read it. Very interesting about kind of the pros and cons of not only being ugly but being beautiful as well. There's pros and cons to both. Twist Our Exorcist, another shonen where I think it has everything in it. Very unique and engaging romance as far as like it's a mother from the beginning, but they still have to learn each other and all that good stuff. Good lore, good fighting. Power system's just okay, but I think it makes up for a lot of ways, and I just think it's just really good, and it continues to build on all the characters, even the villain. Out. It's supposed to be a delinquent manga, but it's more like a crime syndicate manga because those teenagers are fucking wildin'. They on some crazy ass shit. Um, It used to be a little bit higher, but with it not even that much higher. It was like at 11, but I think it's done a little weird shit a little bit lately. But it ain't really decreased my rating of it. It's still I think it's really great. But some interesting things have happened here and there. Still really good. Alice in Borderland. I also recommend the live action too, because I also think that's really good. But Alice in Borderland, really good psychological things with games. Things touch on a lot of nuanced themes, a lot of good stuff with it. And when it comes to that, really love this manga. But there's one game and section that I like in particular that really made me kick this up in the high gear with that. And also new edition number 11, which had Altair. I think this is also one of the most unique manga I ever read. Completely does magic in a different way. Coco is a cinnamon roll of a girl. She is just the best daughter in manga currently, and I just think this is a unique system when it comes to magic because magic is based off of drawing and drawing speed is how you use magic in here, and it just talking about wit society and you have to kind of hide your powers and you can't let other people know. It's just very very interesting with a beautiful art style, and yeah, I just think it's one of the most unique things I ever read, and it's really good. I haven't been so hyped about another manga since Act Age,
I've heard good things.
and so yeah,
Well, not act age. I
yeah.
gotta go
So
engage in
that's
my
15 through 11.
hobbies, ass nigga. Oh my lord. Griever, you're gonna go all the way to 10.
I'm gonna go all the way to 10. All right. So I'm gonna do it with like Vince did it because you know, between Pat and I, we could make this shit go on for 2 hours just by ourselves. So Um, we're gonna go 15. Record of Ragnarok, Shimatsu no Valkyrie. Heracles is boss. Adam is boss. Zerafuku is boss. Yes, it fell off, but it's well drawn. That first fight got me hooked, and I'm still into it. Now, 14. Air Gear. Air Gear is
Interesting.
all I have to say is Agito, I think Bride. Fuck you. Do it for the team. If you don't, I mean, it's just listen, Air Gear is some top shit. Then we have 13, something that most people don't know about, Bloody Monday. It goes on for 3 sequel mangas. I hate when mangas do that sequel shit, but either way, all of them are good. All of them are good. Bloody Monday is basically a bunch of hackers trying to defeat a bunch of high schooler hackers trying to defeat a terrorist plot to destroy from a cult fucking terrorist organization. It's amazing. It's one of the best written mangas I've ever read in my life. If it was done on writing alone, I would argue this shit is on par with like some Death Note realism. It is just it's right up there. My number 12 is Medica Box. I love I just
Now
themes
we talking. That's real manga. Talk
everything about this manga is it calls out shonen on its bullshit while being a shonen manga, and it does both perfectly. Like, let's just go. Like, there's if you don't have this on your list, who the fuck are you? Have you read manga,
Nisio
people?
Ishin always wins in the end.
Well, I mean,
Let's go. Let's go.
that ending
The,
was pretty shitty, but I'm gonna
yeah,
let
the
y'all have
ending.
it.
Once again, shonen
I
manga
disagree.
problem
I don't have a problem
occurs.
with the ending.
I don't have much of a problem, but there is some of a problem. But either way, I
We're gonna
mean,
turn this shitty
midway.
battle manga to a shitty romance. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go. And one thing that I always love, weighted words. This was Conquer's hockey done fucking golden. Weighted words. My words make you kneel. Fucking A. Like I was like, that would be my superpower. Fuck lightning, fuck fire, fuck everything else. Weighted words. Bow before me because I'm that fucking good. Let's go.
All fiction,
Then
baby.
my 11 is Beelzebub. Let's
Hey,
be real. We've already talked about it, but Beelzebub, we love Olga, we love Super Baby Time, Super Milk
Super
Time. You know
Milk
what I
Time is
mean?
the greatest for transformation ever, or subversion of
It,
it to some degree. You know what I mean? You know what I mean though.
it,
Like
yeah,
I'm like,
I
oh, what's he gonna
get you.
do? And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, he's just like me. He can't drink milk. He
Yeah,
dying over there.
exactly.
He's
Same
like,
with me. I can't drink milk either. I'm
he
not
start
lactose
he started
intolerant.
to
Thanks
actually
so much.
warm and make the bottle, and it's like, nigga, it's not ready yet. Like, no, what the fuck? What if it burns me?
Yeah, he's like,
Like that shit is so hilarious.
Jabberwock, Jabberwock. Wait a minute, and then I'll be ready. I'm powering up. You want a real fight? Let's be ready. Behemoth is raw. Everyone, Hilda is raw. Everybody in that series is fucking raw. Let's go. And then for my number 10, I'll open up the floodgates. I got Yona of the Dawn. I have
Nice,
Yona of the Dawn. It
I
is
thought
probably
okay,
the
no,
best
Yona.
very
shoujo
good.
romance series I've ever read in my fucking life. It is the greatest shoujo series. Come at me. We have some of the and even though it's a shoujo, it has some of the best action. It's some of the best panels. It has some of the best like, goddamn. If you like anything, like if you like fantasy settings, if you like a kingdom at war, if you like the idea of uh, the old fairy tale, that's what I'm looking for. Fairy tale. If you like that old fairy tale with a mature twist, read Yona and the fucking Dawn. Best version of it I've ever read. All right, that's my number 10. Let's go.
All right, Vince number 10.
My number 10 is Zatch Bell. I think,
Sakura
or Gash Bell, however you want to pronounce it, either
Konshiki no
or.
Jasper, I think it is something like that.
Yeah, either or. I don't really care.
Hmm.
No, don't care, Simi. Don't give a fuck. Because fucking Toonami said did all the other shit, so I don't give a fuck
But
about
fuck,
that.
I
Too
heard him
much of
say
that.
that. I heard him.
Yeah, yeah. But I just think it's very, very good story with a really strong when it comes to the power of friendship, which normally the thing I don't really give a shit about. But I think this is one of the most well done, if not the most well done. I think all the fights are really good. I think it's a very unique power system, and it's good from beginning to end without I have to worry about the fall off.
Hmm.
And I think how we got there with all the other side characters too is really good. So I think it's just rare to have something that complete from beginning to end.
Yeah, Lizard, Nikki. Ooh,
Yeah, so my number 10, to start on my number 10, in my final non 100 manga series is Blade of the Immortal.
very good stuff.
Just, I mean, I talked about it, but man, I just love this. First of all, the art style is amazing. I know it's more sketch like, which some people might be turned off with, but I think he
But it doesn't look, but it's not like a rough draft. That's the difference. It
it's
looks
more
like
like
a
it's more,
more of an intentional style choice
yeah,
than like
it's
etch a
like an
sketch.
aesthetic choice. It's an aesthetic choice rather than just the limitations of him as an artist.
Hmm.
Um, Hierarchy, like just the concept of like him trying to trying to get rid of his disease, this curse of becoming of immortal. I love the art, the
Sorry, real
fighting
quick. Do
and
you
like
remember the guy who has the mask on with the spiky hair with when like the prostitute died? I like him too. I don't remember his name.
Taito,
Was that his name? Look it up. Wait, keep talking real
maybe.
quick.
Um, I love like all the characters have these like all these characters are really badass and like they can all fight, man. I like how like the fighting style, like how hero here Sawamura is able to draw the fights in this manga and really well done. I love the relationships between like Manji and Rin. Um, between like Mikey, my thing.
Yeah, Magatsu
Uh,
Taito. Yeah, him. Like him.
Yeah,
I like him.
Kagehisa, like all these, they're like it's kind of like Gamran where they have these unique fights. Like people fight with sights, they fight with like uh chains and ball and chains, and it's just really well done, well executed. Yeah, if you haven't read this, man, uh,
It's
tap in.
time. It's time.
Yeah, tap.
Number
Exactly.
10, Pat.
Number 10 is out. Out is the new gatekeeper. Um, I feel like almost everything that I said about Crows, I can also say for Out. But the thing is, Out kind of ramps it up with the gruesomeness and the ridiculousness at times. But at the same time, I think this is a more dark depiction of the delinquent side of things. I think Crows is the more lighthearted side. So it's like
Yeah,
two
absolutely.
sides of the same coin. So
Mhm.
out is like the part of the society where delinquents end up being like the worst pieces of shit, and Crows is like, oh, you're just a troublemaker, but later on in life you're gonna find your avenue and then you're gonna be a functioning member of
Yeah,
society.
Crows really more like they're not bad people, and out they you can legitimately make the argument most of them are terrible people, and
Absolutely
they do not
scum.
deserve to function in regular
Rose
society
has his
at all.
moments, but it definitely leans more on the path of redemption than it leads
Yes,
to like, but there was some very tragic deaths and stuff like that.
but I think Out has a lot of themes that it touches upon that is really powerful. A lot of themes of suicide, depression, isolation, not feeling loved. It's a lot of things that's like could kind of dampen your day, but at the same time, they make it through by forming the camaraderie they have in their gangs, and they treat them as like a bond stronger than family. Even like the lengths that they will go for each other, I think is kind of admirable.
Mhm.
Not to say that I'm condoning it, of course, but I think it's really interesting to read, and the fights go crazy. Now that first time I seen Tanzawa fucking stomp that nigga out, oh my god,
Nah, they was
that's
moving
one of the
different, bro.
coldest panels
No,
ever.
I ain't never seen nobody beat another nigga ass and then look sad afterwards. He's like, I told you I was gonna do this. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, when you sad, you just stomp that nigga out. He just, well, you made me do this. Look at this. You
Like
made
it's
me.
crazy because I seen the panel on the timeline before, but when I read it for myself, like when it happened, I'm like, nah, this nigga is insane. But yeah,
All right.
it's a really good story.
My gatekeeper for manga is actually still the same. It has hardly ever changed. It's always been good ending. Good Ending is one of my favorite all-time romance series in general across all mediums. And oddly enough, like the fucking title, I love the ending. It's got a good ending.
Yeah, it's got a good
Um,
end. Yeah.
Great artwork, great drama. I think it's paced well. I don't think it drags on longer than it needs to be. It doesn't do the
Excuse me.
it doesn't overdo the back and forth and break up and not break not together and this and that and the other. Like I think you can overdo it honestly and you could lose me. So good ending is there. I'm gonna go to 7, and then everyone you do whatever
Isn't
to
it
7.
9?
Huh?
He
He's
said he's
going
going
nine,
for
eight,
10 to
seven.
7.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. Nozokiana. This starts out it's people. Man, like I told you, like, you're gonna keep seeing this theme. My romance series that I like, etchy. So, long story short, there is a hole in the wall with a guy and a neighbor, and he looks in there and sees her flicking her bean, and that just starts their relationship off where she watch him, he watch her, and then it just completely escalates into them liking each other, but him finally getting some holes and then him getting played and all kind of stuff happening. But they're beautiful, it's well drawn. The Eddies and sex is really good, all that stuff. Nozoki Anna is absolutely one of my all time favorites. Nozomi X Kimi or Kimi X Nozomi, whatever the other series by him, which kind of tries to emulate this. I still like it, but it's obviously like
Yeah, it's not as
trying to
nice as
reclaim
well.
former
No.
glory
Yeah.
doesn't work. You can't do it twice. You can't capture lightning in a bottle twice. But yeah, but yeah. He said, "Oh man,
Agreed.
that's freak man stories. Hey, I'm a freaky deaky dude." Um, Aku no Hana, Les Fleurs du Mal, Flowers of Evil at number 8. I thought he did a really good job interpreting this story in its own way. I thought the relationship between the two characters, how it evolves and with the time skip and how things change was really, really good, really well done. I think the artwork is incredible. It's extremely artistic in how it tells its story, and I think it's one of those where when they say like a picture speaks says 1,000 words, whatever the saying is. I can't remember it verbatim right
Mm.
now. I'm tired. I really there's a lot of panels where I'm just like, look at how the art is just speaking to me. I really wish the anime didn't go rotoscoping. I don't think this was the anime to do that with. I think they should have tried to keep the art style that the manga held, but it is what it is. What can I do? Number 7 is something that I talk about ad nauseum on the channel, which is Die Well Gelder, which I think is Samura Hiraoki's best series. Um I spoke about Nami Torine and one of my favorite MC characters list and whatnot. When the story really picks up and you get to see what the overarching plot is, it's pretty dark and surprising. But these three MCs, the kind of the three main girls, they're a really good trio. They don't really
I
work
finally got a
together.
chance to read this. I get it now.
Yeah,
This shit is really good, and the art is surprisingly like kind of crazy.
yeah,
It's
and the
insane. And
fights are really
and the
really
fights
good.
too. Yeah.
Man, when Nami came through and she just standing there with the fucking shotty, I'm like, yo, and then the Chinese girl be beating people's ass too, like, and she has a metal
Yeah.
arm where she twisted that
Them
nigga's
fighting
dick
on
off.
the
I said, oh
beach.
my
Yeah,
god.
bro. Yeah, bro. Them three fighting at the beach was crazy, bro. I was like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah, absolutely insane, god tier. So yeah, all right, Pat, you're on 9 right now.
Nine, eight, seven.
Go high,
Yep.
kid.
Yes. Number 9. Ow.
Look at my boy
Ashi.
Kutsu. I came around. He's
Bro,
him. He's unhinged, but he's him.
there has been so much soccer manga. Inazuma 11, fucking Captain Tsubasa,
Aaron Okishi.
got them. Aaron Okishi. This is not that. Ao Ashi transcends all that other football shit that they've been trying to put out. This manga right here is generational. If it wasn't for Diamond No Ace, this would be the best sports manga I've ever read. That nigga right there on the left, Ashito, he's my second son. I want to see him succeed. Everything he does, I'm like a proud father.
My
I'm like, yeah,
fullback.
see, look at you. You getting it. You understanding it. It this Javi and Iniesta both read this shit. This is not a
Yep.
game. I'm telling you, Legends of Football are recommending this manga. That's how good it is. That's
The
all I'm gonna say.
Barcelona
Y'all need to
Nice.
go read that shit.
Yep. Fuck Blue Lock. Okay, keep going.
Number 8, I know Ace. I already spoke enough about it on the anime stream. I love the manga almost as much as I love the anime, but the missing piece is the soundtrack. The soundtrack for the anime go crazy. If I had that with the manga, I think I'd probably rate it at number three as well. But this best sports manga, bar none, nothing comes close. Well, actually, I lied. Aoashi is coming close because it's literally right beneath it. But it's just it's magnifique.
So good,
Number
and man,
seven,
that line about the baseball. You've seen the baseball demon that sold his soul to the devil. Have you ever seen the ball
listen,
roll in
listen.
the cold
The
white snow?
ball
I
rolling
said, I have, bro.
fine,
Man, it's running in the
fine.
snow.
We didn't come here to play baseball for fun.
For fun.
We came to
Came
take
the
Get
the
way.
get
championship
championship
Yeah,
banner.
banner.
no, that is real. That's the realest shit ever said in manga, or at least in sports manga. Nah,
Yep.
nah, that's the team I'm trying to be part of. They was moving.
They're so different. Them niggas won the championship and their coach punished them. Like, bro,
Never
he punished
satisfied.
them.
Never satisfied.
It's not always
Y'all won
about
one
winning.
little
It's about
title.
how you win. So I've been there.
Yup. Say y'all won one little title. Let it get to y'all heads. Y'all gonna be practicing baseball without a ball for a week.
Oh, y'all happy you won that shootout? Why was we in the shootout when we was up 2-0? Run. I've been there. I have. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Number seven is Vinland Saga because the farmland arc changed me. It honestly changed me. I
Jesus
didn't know that
fucking Christ.
pacifism could be that good. It's probably top five best arcs I've ever read in manga. Like seriously,
Jesus
it's the
fucking
most beautiful
Christ.
thing I've ever seen. And not only that, I think Yukimura is really, really, really good at touching upon the human element, making people want to be better for themselves, showcasing the trauma that people have gone through. Like that moment when Arnheld, she was like dying, and Torfin was trying to think of what to say to help her live on, and he was like, "There's a land out there called Vinland," and then she was like, "Is there gonna be men over there? Is there gonna be war?" And he couldn't tell her no because like he didn't know if there was war over there or not, and she was like, "Well, if there's gonna be war over there, then I'd rather not live at all," and she passes on. And at that moment, I was like, "This series is doing something different from other series that I've ever read before." I really love Vinland Saga. I think it's a nice balance between pacifism and violence. I think it touches upon both of those themes really well. I'm not too crazy over the current arc, but I'm waiting to see where it goes.
Next up. Oh, not six. All right, you're good. You're done. All right, my bad. Lizard. All right, nice talk. Vince?
All right. So what am I at? Nine? Nine for me, One Piece.
Oh, shit.
So One Piece moved
It's
from
in your top 10.
One
yes.
Piece.
You're not my enemy anymore.
All right, yes, One Piece is in my top. It
Hmm.
went from 11 to 9. Really like One Piece.
Nice.
Well, I really like One Piece. I'm kind of similar to Nair for the reasons I read this. I don't give a fuck about fighting in this. I know it's a battle shonen, but I really think in some ways that's kind of one of the most least interesting parts about One Piece. I legit read this for like everything else, for just the adventure, the comedy, the building a relationship between the crew. I really love One Piece for the most part. Does it have its problems? Of course it does. We all know it. It's all fine, and everything. But still, I think Oda at his best is one of the best writers I've ever seen, regardless of medium. And it deserves all the praise that it got. Not trying to hear none of that other nonsense about none of that other stuff. You get something from me when you've done way more good than bad. So, yeah. So that's number
Keep going.
9. Number 8, Onani Master. We kind of already talked about it. Like I said, I
Yep.
just think
See?
it's very special.
I'm not
I think
crazy.
it's just
Telling you.
it. I just think it's very special to be able, like I said, I think one of the Japanese writing greatest thing is that it can take a weird premise and turn it into something very good. It don't make no sense, and that's just really good. I couldn't believe it. It's really shocking. And then number 7, Berserk. Um, I feel like it'll always be in my top 10, but it will probably never get higher than this because of Mira dying,
Rest in
and we'll
peace.
never get the complete vision. Yeah, I appreciate them trying to at least finish it, so we at least kind of see, because at least they'll give us like what will happen. They won't be able to do it the same way he will, but at least they're trying to give us get to the ending, so I can always appreciate that. But obviously, it's not
Mhm.
going to be the same. But I just think Guts, Griffin, and Casca some of the most interesting, best written characters. It has a problem with the sexual stuff, and I can understand anybody not wanting to read it for those reasons. I cannot blame you at all. But I also think, for as dark as this story is, I think this is a story about the human condition, the human indomitable spirit not to give up. And I actually think, for such a dark story, actually has a positive message of just trying to get through all of the negative and horrible things that humanity has to go through.
Uh, should I go?
Yeah.
No,
Are you supposed to go?
never again.
I
No,
called
Oh
on
my
you
god.
already.
Yeah.
my mute was my mic was accidentally muted. My number 9, to protect the text is to protect the world. It is Magus of the Library, my newest addition to my top 10, and my new addition to top 10. Well, new addition to top my third 30 and the first 100. This is only 29 chapters. It's monthly, but you could this really captured me. This is a story about fantasy
Monthly. It
world.
don't even come out.
It's monthly, but
Nah,
the
you
we
trick you tricked me. You
not
tricked me. You tricked the
it's
league.
monthly, but we get it. We the English thing is a volume release, so technically I'm right. This is a fantasy series about this like it surrounds it. The concept is basically there's this huge MC loves reading books. He loves doing all that shit, but
Send me on
man,
your
I'm gonna
send me on your ass.
listen, man. It's not completed though, and it's monthly, so it's like really like 60 chapters in a weekly. This is it's a fantasy series about manga. MC loves reading books, but he's bullied because of his race and his thing. But then he gets saved by these basically like these librarians that can fight and like they have magical powers, and he decides he wants to become one of the librarians. And I love it for a lot of reasons. Like I could probably more than I probably shouldn't go into right now, but keep it short. To one of my favorite, the main points. I love the art. Some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen. I love these characters. I love the way they tackle themes about like sexism and like in depth. Like one of the best ways I've seen handle sexism and all that. I think I really recommend it. Anybody who wants to give it a try, give it a try. My number 8 is Great Teacher Onizuka. I've talked about it in. It's lower. It's 8 on here, but it's. I actually love the manga more because one of the reasons is it's a full completed story, adapted story of the instead of the anime that doesn't fully adapt it. I talked about a lot of reasons why I love that, but man, one of the raw scenes where he does arm wrestles with like 50, like 200 different student different people just to help the students at the consecutively was raw shits I've ever seen. My number 7 is Dora Hey Doro. This
Ooh.
is a Oh, again, I was talking about with if you remember the anime stream. I love esoteric humor, and this is one of the most esoteric out there in batshit insane series of all time. It's funny as fuck. Like Hiro Hayashida has the most deranged sense of humors, and I love her for that. I think like she'll make like a corpse talking or something like that in the funniest scenes possible. I love the art style, how messy and gritty and thing, but it actually adds to the comedy in a way. The whole Kaiman and like Kaido's relationship with each other is so well written. I love Shin and the whole like the whole gang, like the Mushroom Gang cast, and yeah, that's my
Reaver,
7.
Yo,
you're up to bat.
what are we going from? 9 to 7?
See,
Mhm.
Okay. Um, let's go with Kengan Ashura.
nice.
Uh, it is the greatest tournament manga, period. And I've read a lot of
Facts.
tournaments in and out of shit, but I mean, the
Facts.
whole manga is a goddamn tournament The art only
Facts.
gets better. It is fucking incredible. The character arcs, it subverts so many expectations. It gets you in the emotional feels. What you think is going to be tropey and what happens does not happen. Character matchups that are obvious, that are supposed to happen, do not happen. It is Kengan Ashura easily, when I was reading it, jumped from being like, just another one of the 500, 600, 700 manga I've read, all the way up to easily in my top 20 within 100 chapters. It was no question. Like, it just, I could go on and on, but we're trying to get through this shit. So, anyways, Kengan, amazing. Number 8, Boar's Head podcast. Let's go. 7 deadly fucking sins. Nanatsu no Taizai has a lot of flaws, shitty ending, shitty final arc, but did you drop a coin there on the ground? I mean,
I'm sorry, brother. That's not enough for me. I love Escanor though.
Yeah, but all right. So we got Escanor, but we also have what we failed to see is that we got some great other characters. We have
Big
Bon the
Zeldris.
Undead.
Don't
We have
just say it. Just say Zeldris.
Zeldris,
Thank you. Ominous fucking nebula.
Zeldris, the ominous nebula, the Prince of Darkness himself. We have Melios.
And
We have
Band's a great
we
character.
Bond's a great character. Yeah, we have and even at a time Gil Thunder in the first arc was a fucking boss. All right, so we had plenty to love about Seven Deadly Sins. Yes, did it fall off? Of course, but a lot of manga do. So yeah, Seven Deadly Sins, easy. And number 7 is Shokugeki no Soma Food Wars. I just heard it last time about talking about how the
I'm gonna be a little
Japanese can
higher.
take.
A little higher. I thought it was in your top 5 actually. Keep going though.
Really.
Yeah,
Well, it comes in its ways. My top 10 are interchangeable a lot of the time, but
that's
Food
fair.
Wars, obviously, as someone who's not a professional chef but loves to cook, has been cooking since I was a kid. I appreciated this because they had a professional chef actually help. All the recipes you see can be made. They are not just there for anime tomfoolery. They can be made. You can make them at home. Are they going to make you strip? No, but maybe you should. I don't know. But either way, my point is that this was awesome. The characters, yeah, it was tropey and stuff, but I loved this. I love this show. I love Shokugeki no Soma. It is just too fucking good. And once again, as a foodie or whatever you want to call it, there's nothing that gets me more hype than a good food manga. And as we said, the Japanese decided, oh yeah, we can easily have fists and kicks. We're gonna make food a power system. How are you gonna do that? Hold my pencil. And they do it. They've done it multiple times. Addicted to Curry, Toriko, Food Wars. It works every fucking time. I love the
Nobunaga no
creativity.
chef.
Yes,
Bambino Secondo. There's a lot of good cooking ones.
the cooking is just sitting there alongside a sports manga. It's a genre in its own right, and Food Wars does it phenomenally. So that's
Mhm.
my number 7.
Okay, I'm going up until 3, and then after that, everyone will do our top 3. So I'm going 6 to 3. Wait, what? Did I just confuse my own self? Whatever. 6 is
You're
Crows.
doing
Boya
great.
Michi.
Leave
It'll make
top
sense
four.
when I'm
Yep.
done. Boya Michi, Crows. Crows is absolutely my favorite delinquent Yankee manga. Boyo Haramichi, the man you see on screen here, absolutely my favorite manga lead and has been since I've read Crows. This guy's the GOAT, man. He is strong, he's funny, he's got everything that I need in a character. His character arc is amazing, and he's the only person that was able to draw with the absolute god of the verse, Rinda Man. Okay? And that fight is legendary. That's a top 5 manga fight. Their second round when everybody was watching to the point there were middle schoolers that were watching that fight that were so inspired by it. They were so fucking moved by these two niggas throwing hands and the amount of respect that they threw with each other. To the point that I argue, Boyad really didn't like. It's not that he there was a certain challenge to overcome, but after Rindaman was gone, there was no one who could really step to this man, and he didn't really have a true rival after that. My guy from the Manji Empire did his best. He tried. He was good, but come on, man. Come on, man. This guy's the GOAT, bro. Um, I've spoken about it. I literally have videos on my channel about it. If you want to hear me keep going at it, so absolutely, yeah. Tatsuo, yep, and Bito brother. This too easy. He almost lost to Ryushin secretly though. Secretly, he got lucky that first time. Gintama has never left my top five since it entered my top five.
Go.
Um, what more can I say about Gintama? It is absolutely the funniest manga I've read, and the reason that I always choose it over the anime for me is very simple. I will say this: the anime is great. I love it. Just because I read so fast, the jokes hit a little better for me than having to wait for the actors to say it out loud. Especially if it's a very elongated joke, like jukum jukum poop throwing like I could just read it faster than they say it. And for that, for some reason, it just makes the joke hit harder with me when it doesn't feel as drawn out. But I'm not trying to downplay the anime any capacity. I love it. I'm still gonna watch that movie though. Yeah. Ops shout out to Sodachi. This is a great series.
My gorilla.
Yep.
But yeah.
Katsuda's the GOAT. That's one of my favorites, man. He's so fucking hilarious. He just like I saw him in like two seasons. Like this is my favorite character, and I don't think it's gonna get topped. Can you? I don't
He's
remember
the
her name, and I
funniest
apologize for it. It's
character
disrespectful.
ever.
First, what's the girl with the scar, on her face, the prostitute with the scar on her face?
Tsukiyo.
I love
Sukiyo.
I love her,
Tokyo,
but you know the old lady. You know the old lady's my second favorite character, right?
Otose?
Otose.
Yo,
Yep.
Otose is fire, man.
Nah, I don't see her on nobody's list. Y'all don't rate her like that. She's a
It's
goat.
just she's
She's a
so
goat,
fire.
and I don't see no one. I'm not. I might have to be the one make a character video on her. She is fucking raw. I love her. She don't get no respect. That's my second favorite character in Gintama. Sundome, another Kazuto Odaka. So when I was talking about Ibitsu earlier, Sundome broke my heart, man. The ending is very, 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 very sad and all that, but it is absolutely a great and fantastic read. Um, it was a powerful story. It's a bit of I want to say slightly coming of age, but seeing the relationship with the main character and her, how it grows, how perverted it is, the fact she never lets him beat, and just how it all shapes out in the end. It's quite the journey. It's one of those things where I say like it's not a manga, it's an experience. Like Sundome is one of those few manga I wish I could erase my memory of and re-experience it again because I know if I read it today, it would still move me. And Ponsu M, whatever it's called. I think it's Ponsu, whatever. His other series, I like it a lot. It could enter the top 30. I have to do a proper full reread because I read it very sporadically. Like it was one of those things where like okay, chapters came out and I'm like okay, I read them. Then I'll check weekly, and then no chapters will come out, so I'd give up. And then like 4 months later, 30 chapters came out, and I'm like oh brother. So I want to do a proper read of that. But alright, I'm done. Go ahead, Pat.
Okay. So number 6, we were just talking about it. Gintama. Gintama
Go.
is again, it's the funniest series I've ever experienced. I think the manga is just as good as the anime. Honestly, I think Sorachi's art is really, really good. It gets a lot better as it goes on, but I've always liked it from the jump. Um, Reading those last couple chapters, it was like he put a shotgun right to my chest and just blasted that shit.
Man.
Like them final chapters with Takasugi just did something that could not be filled afterwards.
Also,
So
you
yeah,
can't
Gintama.
appreciate this series if I can't. When does it get serious? Can I just go to the Benny Zakura arc? You'll never appreciate Gintama that way. I don't give a fuck.
No, no,
Fuck you.
No.
Stop
absolutely not.
skipping. Stop being a
Just
pussy ass bitch and
if
read.
anybody's
You pathetic coward.
if anybody says it, just tell them to drop the series, man. That's all where I'm at. Like if you say
I
okay, you
don't
skip this,
respect you if you skip. You're a loser. Yeah.
why
I hope someone's offended. Someone's chest is beating fast because you a skipper. Yeah. Yeah.
man skips the series that you want to get into and enjoy? What the fuck? No nonsense, fucking nonsense. But yeah,
Number number 5 is JoJo. I don't know how Araki does it, but it seems like he just gets better and better as he keeps going. And this is another one of them niggas that's been going on since the mid '80s. Like this shit's been going out since 1987. All his parts, he just keeps finding a new way to make me scratch my head in
Reinvent
a good
himself.
way.
Yep.
I'd be like, bro, what the fuck is going on? But in a good way. Like that's
Art
the
of the
only series
unknown.
where I can say that. Like I'm actually really tired of people talk about some, oh, Steel Ball Run is the GOAT. Nothing can come close. And I'm like, yeah, I really like Steel Ball Run. I think it's the best part. But JoJo was close for a very, very, very long time. At one point, I thought it was better. And the parts before it, Stone Ocean, uh, Diamond is Unbreakable, Battle Tendency, all those parts for me, they rival Steel Ball Run. So can we please stop acting like Steel Ball Run is the only part that's worth any notoriety? Because as a whole, like notice I put JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I didn't put JoJo's Bizarre Adventure this part, that part. No, as a whole, this is one of the best manga series
Igneous
ever.
niggas. Send me the rock niggas. The juice. The Rokaka juice.
The Rakaka Juice.
The juice.
Nah, man, reading JoJo Weekly was a time. I'm so glad I was there for that. Well, monthly. And number 4, this actually dropped down one spot, but Feng Shenji. Feng Shenji, I,
You
man,
kind of cheated. This technically not a manga, but I'll allow.
but still, look,
Wait a
That's
minute.
raw.
it's a,
Is it
It's
technically
raw
the
thought.
breaker of
Yes, it,
manhua, not a
yeah,
yeah.
manga?
it
Come
is.
on
It
now,
is.
Yeah.
if we're gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
put the breaker, we could put Feng
Yeah.
Shenji.
All right, fair
This
enough,
is
fair enough.
like
It is great.
one of the ultimate coming of age stories. I think this is really interesting from like an MC standpoint because the main character is actually pretty selfish. He prioritizes himself a lot, but I love his tactics. And at his core, he's not a bad person. He just, if some shit's really bad for me, bro, I'm not gonna stick it out. Fuck that. Like, that's his mentality. And this series has one of the greatest swordsmen I've ever seen. ZU, he's so fucking raw. Oh my god. And it has one of the greatest antagonists ever. Tien, you talk about overwhelming might. God. The fight with Tien at the end of Feng Shen G2, man, monumental. Absolutely monumental. Great stuff. I'm done.
Um. Lizard. Sorry, Jesus Christ. What happened to my brain for a second?
My 6 to 5, 6 to 4. My six is Koi no Katachi, Silent Voice.
I was
Again,
speaking about this.
yeah.
I like
This
the
is
movie too.
64 chapters. Yeah. This is again, standard coming of age and redemption story of a of a the main guy bullies the main girl for being deaf and it causes and he causes her to extreme amount of pain because of that and as he grows up he regrets it and he's trying to redeem himself
He learns
because of
sign
her.
language too, right? Or he's learning it,
Yeah,
if I
he
remember
learns
correctly.
sign language, he does all these things, and he's trying to trying to overcome redeem himself because of his past, and it's just a really heartwarming redeeming the heartwarming story about how hard you can work to redeem yourself and do well. Koi no Tachi, this actually used to be my one, two, used to be number 4, but there's 2 more. Like it got shifted down, but I still will always love this series. And that movie was good as well, but the manga was just a different level.
Oh, manga's better. I know the manga's better, but I'm just saying I did enjoy the film. I
The
watched.
film is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did what they could.
it's like yeah, the film is good, but it's kind of like it's hard bar to pass type of shit. Like
Hmm.
uh, and in my top 5, and I now talk about most people have go to Pun Pun. I love Pun Pun. This used to be my 3. Yes, my 3. Um, he is like just his life story of how he goes from like this upbeat, wholesome person guy into like devolves into the like shitty life choices he makes and all the things he has to do and to become the adult he is. I love the artistic choice of making him in bird. Um, and like so you can see how he looks and then how that bird devolves into different forms to showcase his mental state at the point of time where he is at. Asano really hit it out of the park. One of my favorite parts also is the ending where you basically see like one of his friends who was in his early part of his life but leaves in the outer leaves halfway through and like he doesn't see what the super traumatic shit he Pun Pun goes through. um And then he's like, okay, like, and then it's like a concept. I love the whole thing. It's like it made me think like you can know these people and like they seem all right, but they have mountains of history and things behind them, mountains of history and pain and everything, but you won't know because you weren't there to experience it. Shout out Pun Pun and what was it? Aiko, real fucking toxic relationship.
What you doing?
Saichi, yeah. My Favorite Number Four. Uh, is
I forget how
Onani
high you
Master.
have this. I was waiting. I was wondering how high you had it. I forget how you have this really, really,
This
really
is
high.
actually my number two, but my
Yes,
number
yeah, it was your number two like before. I think it was high.
my Onani Master Kurosawa. This is the
All y'all niggas got this masturbating shit.
relax, Onani Master. Okay, we're not gonna say the English name.
Listen, Pat, I know not your thing, bro, but listen, when something is good, it's just good, bro. What can I say? Niggas creative.
Heathens, all of you.
I don't
Not
deny that,
uh,
really.
but
I didn't read
I
because I
don't
didn't even
deny that
read
by
it
any
for that.
capacity. I'm an absolute unhinged freaky
I mean,
fraud,
I didn't
but
read it for none of that.
my I
Honestly,
stand
when I
by the
read
fact that
stuff,
this is actually when the paradigm shift happens, it's a completely endearing story that comes and you don't expect it, and it's really good.
yeah, agree.
uh,
And also, I'm just not somebody who's bothered by fucking weirdo shit in manga. All manga is weird. Fucking just got
Mhm.
perverted, etchy shit all over it all the time, no matter what you read. So none of that shit bothered me.
yeah, okay. So, you guys talked about it, but I will say, first of all, I mean, you know, I don't want to beat the dead horse of what I'm always saying, but it's a theme in my thing of coming of age. This is like a coming of age story of a you know, he makes mistakes of a boy who, you know, he does this insanely horrible thing he does, and he gets caught and he has to um and then he
To
does shit
reconcile
like,
and live with the things that he's done.
yeah, and he has to redeem himself. I love how he goes through the redemption of how thing it feels. It never feels like it's like it feels like it felt earned. It doesn't feel like, oh, he said he's sorry, we're okay. He actually has to put in the work. He has to do it. He has to feel the shame and suffering of his. He has to feel the consequences of actions first. I think Kakuro Kurosawa, I love him as MC. Like he's like over the top calculating and like he's monologuing all the time, but it always hits. Um, I love the ending because like who he ends up with is, that's one of my favorite parts is the ending, because who he ends up with is nowhere who you think it is, but it works because of the relationship. And like there's actually even like there's like this small like one chapter or spin-off like web novel, light novel type of shit, which I read, and it really adds
Send
in
me
depth.
that. I didn't know about that. Send me that.
Yeah, like his thing. And I like how his redemption isn't like him and the main, well, the girl he's supposed to help with. One of them gets redemption, the other one unfortunately can't. And yeah, it's just it's a easy 31 chapter read, and yeah.
All right, Vince, you are up.
Okay. So we're on six now.
See,
God damn, six is monster for me. I think Dr. Timma is one of the most underrated main characters. Everybody always talks about Johan, but Timma does not get his due enough in
He
this
does
series.
not. He
And
does
also
not.
the side characters are also really, really good. Anna, uh, Wolf,
is this the one with the detective that types them
Ginger,
in on no
yeah,
air?
Luna, forgot his name, somewhere else. Can't get it right now. But yeah, there's just a really bunch of good side characters, really good themes, and a whole bunch of good stuff that's happened as far as just medical malpractice and just the politics that go in the medical field and just a lot of stuff with it. I really like the kind of the Tenma, like you said, traveling all over Europe and doing all the stuff that he does. So there's that. It's really, really good and compassionate, really important. Five, Gameron, uh, just some of the best fights I've ever seen. And yes, the ending is sadly not as good as it could be, but when the fights are this good, who cares? Because this is about fighting, and something I'll always say is, what is the point of the manga that we're trying to do? This is a manga about fighting. Are the fights elite the entire way through? Yes. So that's all that matters to me, and that's what it does best.
Yeah,
But they actually
absolutely.
did come down. It used to be It used to be three. Wait, so that's moved to five. And then four is Claymore. Another
Hey,
thing.
Phantom
Claymore,
Mira. It's my bitch.
yeah. I mean, has
Miria.
all really cool dark fantasy aspects. Has basically almost a complete female cast, which is rare. All of them are raw, and the ending is a lot better than it gets credit for. Claire, Teresa, the faint smile. Priscilla is an absolutely insane villain in her own right because what the fuck? And yeah, it's really, really good. Shout out Claymore.
Reaver, you arrive next to. Then Pat, we're gonna come
Okay.
to you after so you can finish off and go get ready for what you gotta do.
Okay, I'm going
All
straight
right.
to sleep.
So my number 6 is Mada Mada Dane. We got to do Prince of Tennis. Already talked about it. Tezuka Zone. What my personal favorite for sports manga. It is the GOAT. We don't talk about the new Prince of Tennis. We
We
just
do
keep it.
because it's kind of funny, honestly.
It's kind of funny. We, for a comedic perspective, we talk about it.
Well, we don't
But
acknowledge
outside of that,
it.
we do not acknowledge it. And then we go into this, and it is just the whole stuff. Once again, I've argued many times that it's very difficult to give a big cast. You know, this is why they always stick to usually the trio plus a mentor, is because it's very difficult to give each cast member a long amount of time for character development to feel like a fleshed out character. I think Prince of Tennis is another example that they do that very, very well. So yeah, that's my number 6. Number 5 is the next piece of One Piece. I mean,
What
it's
piece?
One Piece. It's got to be on there. One Piece has to be on there. I mean, come on.
Let me give you a kiss. Mwah.
There we go. So yeah, One Piece has to be in most people's top 10. It's in my top 5. It's there probably to stay. You know, it's got its ups, it's got its downs. For example, I don't like Egghead Island. I don't like it, but it is what it is. You know, something that's going to run. As Pat's been talking about, things have been running since the '80s or the '90s. Something that's running for over 1,000 chapters is bound to not be 10 out of 10 all the time. So I can take the flaws with it. It's fine. And One Piece is realistically the goat of the modern era, I would say. Now, and yeah, and then my number 4 is Kenshin. Gotta go. It's the original Swordsman Tale. It's the original Japanese sword manga for me personally. It's the big one that I got into. I mean, Shishio Makoto is probably one of, if not the, I've always put him in my top 3 shonen villains or manga villains. Period. He's just so simplistic. Same with Frieza and stuff. It's like being simply evil for the sake of evil or having a very simple doesn't make them poorly written or not three-dimensional. They are just that works. It works so well. The strong live, the weak die, and I am the strong.
The
So
flesh of the weak is food for the strong.
exactly, like Shishio Makoto is one of the greatest villains in manga, and then you had the opposing force of Mr. Reverse Blade Sword Kenshin, who basically created Makoto Shishio by trying to be a better person. It's a fantastic dynamic, and also I also love the fact that Sidro Hiko is there. Another example of a great mentor character. I love my mentor characters, and then the and the author comes out and basically goes, "Yeah, so I made him too strong, so he can basically and so I have to have a reason. He's lazy. That's the reason. He's lazy. So he had to write him out of the story because he would have beat all the villains without problem. So I love it. I love that the manga acknowledged like this guy is the goat. I screwed up making him too good. So I wrote him out of the story and gave him an excuse so that the main characters can go do the job. So once again, I like the honesty there, and yeah, that's my number 4.
All right, Pat, finish us off. The top
Okay.
three, baby.
So number 3, Kengan Ashura.
Mm.
As everyone can see, it's a lot of repeating series between our lists, but it's shit's just that fucking good. Like the Kengan Annihilation tournament is the best tournament arc I've ever read in my life, and for years it
100%.
was the Dark Tournament. This shit came and it honestly blew the Dark Tournament out the water. Like everything that you expect, just throw that out the window. It's not happening the way you think it's going to. All these fights, just straight gas. I don't think I read a single bad fight. Like maybe there was one or two that I didn't care for, but at the end of it, I was like, wow, that was really fucking good.
Hatsumi versus Agito was not a good idea.
But now you see this nigga right here, Mikazuchi Ray. All his fights was ending in like 5 seconds, and it was greatness.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
were good fights. Yeah.
Where did Ryu
I'm
come
not
Yeah.
from?
including. I'm not including Kengan Omega because that's kind of its own thing, but Kengan Ashura, so fucking good. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I didn't include
Gao
Omega in
versus
mine
Gao
either,
Lang,
by the
both
way.
continents. I never really read this, so I don't know. I just
Number
know
two,
Oma and the black guy who fucked all the bitches.
Oh, Mutaba, man. He makes us all look weak in the
I
bedroom.
always forget how much you like
ah,
Kingdom. You just don't talk about it that often. That's why.
there's not much to talk about really. Like, they're just doing their historical thing, politics. But nah, Kingdom has honestly been in the number two spot forever. Like since I read it. The first night I read Kingdom, I read like 20 chapters in one fucking sitting. It was late in the morning, the sun was coming up. I was like, all right, let me get some rest. I woke up, I was reading Kingdom. I was doing that for like a week straight. Like if I wasn't eating, I was reading Kingdom. The only thing that really mattered was like when the One Piece episode dropped. But other than that, Kingdom, straight up. The Coalition War is the second best arc I have ever read in my life. Everything that I held dear was on the brink of total destruction. And they held the fucking line. Like when my man Conky went up and set one of the fucking siege towers on fire with that arrow, it shit was just so raw. Oh my god, man. Kingdom is so good. It'll be like 30 chapters where not a single blade is being uh, uh struck and fucking it's just politics. And I'm reading that shit like it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. The world building in Kingdom is absolutely phenomenal. The military tactics, the structure, the characters, everything about this is just so endearing to me. I love it. 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 I don't read Kingdom like week to week like I used to. I don't fiend for it as hard, but whenever I get like chapters stacked up and I binge it, I just have such a great time. I never forget why I love this series to begin with in the first place,
Yo,
and
Tanjiro,
I'm
that's the
looking
reason.
forward to seeing
I
the
need to
end
see
of
the
it.
nether regions. Huh?
Yo Tonwa. Yo Tonwa is my general. I love her. Number one, you guys know it's One Piece.
Bo
Like, do
bo
I
bo
have to
bo
say
bo
anything?
bo 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 bo. I'm joking. Go
I
ahead.
don't have to say anything. One Piece is the greatest piece of literature ever created, and
All
that
right, run
that's
it
how
down
many.
from
From
the
1 to
bottom to the
30 or
top
30
real
to
quick,
1.
and then go to
Okay.
sleep, rest, make your food, go to work.
Yes. So, like I said, honorable mention Hokuto no Ken or Fist of the North Star. Number 30, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Number 29, Toriko. Number 28, Monster. 27, Aisho 21. 26, Hunter x Hunter. 25, Death Note. 24, Kimetsu no Yaiba. 23, Gameron. 22, Veroni Kenshin.
Since too soft
Number
for a
20,
swordsman.
21, Bleach. Rukia! 20 is Dragon Ball. 19, Vagabond. 18, Crows. 17, The Breaker. 16, Slam Dunk. 15, Golden Kamuy.
Nope.
14, Hajime no Ippo. 13, Yu Yu Hakusho. 12, Berserk. 11, Holy Land. 10, Out. 9, Aoashi. 8, Diamond no Ace. 7, Vinland Saga. 6, Gintama. Number 5, Jojo no Kimi no Boken. 4, Function G. 3, Kengan Ashura. 2, Kingdom. 1, The GOAT.
There you go. That's past top 30. Smoking on top 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, brother. I appreciate
I'll
it. Know you
watch.
got work.
Yeah, I'll watch the video later to see who was everybody's top 3. But
All right,
this
man.
was fun.
See you later, Pat.
Mm,
You boys all have a good night.
I will do my best. Vince, take us home.
You're
All right. So my top three, Tokyo Ghoul. This moved up. Reread it recently, like I want to say a year or two ago, and it went from 5 to 3, and it just has everything that I pretty much love. I think Kaneki's a great MC, and that really helps. Side characters are really good. Has some good fights, not the greatest fights I've ever seen, but good enough fights. A lot of good things and some really, really good dialogue and good art when it wants to. So I just think it's very powerful. Who doesn't know about this right now? And yeah, so two, Keegan Ashura, best tournament arc of all time. Kuriki Gensai, one of the greatest side characters of all time, one of the greatest old people in fighting, and just a whole bunch of just kind of just thinking you thought what you knew was gonna happen, but then you didn't. So great. That's been two for a long
I
time.
love
One,
the King in Love. I love the King in Love going on right now. It's fantastic.
and then number one, good ending. It's been my best manga of all time, basically since the moment I read it, and
Yep.
it's just
You
I
are
think
the
it's
good
one of the
ending
greatest
merchant.
things of all time. And then number zero, because I have never talked about this before, and I'm not sure any of y'all ever knew this, but Nana is actually what I consider would have been the greatest manga of all time. I think
If it actually
Nana,
ended.
if it actually ended, I think
Mhm.
Nana would be without a doubt the greatest manga of all time. And I don't think I've ever said that to anybody. I got never talk about it, but I just think it does everything good ending does, but a little bit better in every facet. But it'll never end, so that's why I can't put it there. But I wanted to give it credit for once because I've never done that.
Can't can't give good and yeah.
All right. I'm going to scroll down.
Uh huh.
Nah. Good ending. Kengan Ashura. Tokyo Ghoul, Claymore, Gamera, and Monster. Berserk. Oni Master, One Piece, Satch Bell, and this is I can't read that fast. It's too late. All right, we're done. All right, Reaver, you're up.
Okay. All right.
Three,
So my
two,
top
one.
three. All right. We're going number 3, and we're going to be the shaman.
Look around you, look beyond.
King.
You could
You
make
will
an
make an
unbreakable bond.
unbreakable bond.
The world around you's
Surround you
not what
is
it
not what
seems. I
it
love that song.
seems.
That's like.
Yes, four kids knew. All right, they might have fucked up One Piece, but they had solid shit, man. So we got Shaman King at number 3.
Gonna
I
be
mean,
my
Anna
destiny.
Anna was on my waifu list for a reason. Yo is one of the most underrated MCs of all time. He's
Yo
one of
said
the
one of the
goat.
funniest things I ever laughed at as a child, real quick. I'll never
Yeah.
forget this. When they're like, yo, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It only hurts when I breathe. I bursted into a laughter I have never bursted into many times in my life. I'm like, you're not okay. Excuse me. I remember like 13. I was like in tears, bro. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So either way, Shaman King is one of those series that has one of the best villains of all time, Hao Sakura. Also has one of the best MCs. Yo has one of the best females on it. Like, and the supporting cast is no slouch. We have Wooden Sword Ryu. We have Faust. We have, and I love that certain characters, like, it's okay sometimes when they get off screen like character development and it works because like yeah there's a simple solution to their problem, it's done, and then they're like yeah now we're good, and it's like yeah but that made sense the whole time, but nobody thought about it until all of a sudden it was like yeah it's good, it's cool. So and Ren and everybody like Shaman King was done well, and what I love is the ending. I love the ending of Shaman. A lot of people call bitch, but Shaman King, you have to remember, was canceled, and we had the Princess How ending, and then it got picked up again just to finish it because so many people hated the fact that it got axed. And instead, nowadays, as we all know, a lot of manga can go, oh shit, I'm going to be axed in 3 months. I better hurry up. Shaman King said, fuck that, kept all the chapters up to the point they were going to stop, and then just went, Shonen Jump, and they said, "Fuck you, Shonen Jump. Fuck you, Shueisha," and they just said, "Oh, you're ending the series? Well, I guess the fans will be unhappy too. Fuck you. I'm not rushing my ending." And lo and behold, what happens later? Brand new anime, brand new manga, multiple continuations. Yeah, yeah, the
I have to
goat.
check what happened to Shaman King Flowers. I don't remember. I was reading that at
Yeah,
one point.
I don't know either. Honestly,
I
I
don't
didn't keep
remember.
up
It's been
with
a
it,
while.
but still, still. Number two is Toriko because
Tori,
once again,
Tori, 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 go.
no, no, no,
What? I can't sing the song? Like I like the
no,
song, bro.
shut that shit down. We don't
Whoa,
talk about
whoa,
that.
Cookie Punchino. Whoa, I like that song, bro. Song's fire.
We do not talk about the Toriko anime. That shit does not exist.
I'm just singing the song, man. Fuck the anime. So we said no.
Toriko, yeah, Toriko has one of the, I think, once again, it's got, in my opinion, the greatest arc I've ever read, the Cooking Festival arc. Like, I mean, grand knocking. I mean, that's when we knew the power scaling was on another level. When a man can tap his fist on the fucking a planet the size of Neptune and stop it from rotating casually. We knew we were on another level, and it
I don't
was
think Minority
gold.
World is one of the coolest abilities. I like that ability a lot.
Minority World. Ichi, I love the fact that once again, just like in Kenshin, Toriko, it was like, yeah, we have a dude who can kill the main villain. We're really gonna have to nerf the fuck out of him multiple times and just give him character traits to say he will not do it. Otherwise, we won't have a fucking story. And then we give him Minority World. We give him a bunch of bullshit. We have the main villain in the flashback go up to him like, "Kill me now or let me go," because like
Hungry
one
tongue.
and like he just Toriko was too good, man. The food power ups, they were all ridiculous. The art, like everything was just too good. I and the fact that once again another series that yes it was rushed, but I think in my opinion it's one of the better rushed endings I've ever read as
I
far
think
as
that's
this.
fair. As far as rush
Yeah,
ending goes, I think I might agree with that.
yeah, yeah. As far as a rushed ending goes, it doesn't feel rushed. If you didn't know it was rushed, would you think it was rushed? I doubt it. I'm not super happy with everything that happened in the ending, but it is what it is. And then my number one is, of course, Getsuga Tensho. We got to go with
Especially
Bleach. We got to go with Bleach. I'm sorry, Kisuke Urahara, Byakuya Kuchike, Chair Sama himself, Sosuke motherfucking Aizen. Probably one of the best. Gin Ichimaru. I mean, there's Soul Society. If it's not the Cooking Festival arc, it's the Soul Society arc in Bleach. I will argue those two arcs are better than any arc in manga history. They are just too good, and Bleach is my number one. That's it.
Bankai Senbon Zakura Kageyoshi
Yes.
can never go
Should I
wrong.
go?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was away. My number three is Kono Oto Tomare. I said I love music manga. This is the pinnacle of music manga to me. This is my this obviously my last list I did. This was not anywhere in my top 30, but it leaped into my number three. Um, just one of the most beautiful art. First of all, one of the most beautiful art I've seen in manga. Like you can draw her ass off, but she can also write one of the best stories I've ever read. Well, with manga stories, the story is basically just about a delinquent named Chika and a studious nerd named Takazo who decide to join a club called the Koto Club, which is a type of Japanese instrument, like a traditional thing, and like they're polar opposites. but they had to work together to revive this dead club because they want to help it. Like Chico is a delinquent, but he's really not that bad of a person. He just gets wrapped up in this thing, and he wants to fulfill his the dream of his grandfather, who used to be a koto maker, and wants to make him proud. But his grandfather actually, unfortunately, died way before this. But he still wants to carry on his legacy. Takuzo is a just a studious guy, but he wants to help him. He was actually part of the Koto Club before, but he wants to make it get into the higher heights. The whole cast is amazing from all the people like Satowa, the main girl. She's a prodigy Koto player, but she's been forced into this high stress situations. Um,
何ハイストレス Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
I
sorry,
think
I'm sorry.
I think one of my favorite parts of this is how it flips up on the head, like some of these more common tropes. Like there's a scene where they have a training club where one of the characters is having difficulties, and he runs away, right, runs away through the night, and it's like in a standard manga, standard anime shit, it would be like, oh, the MC gotta go and give him a pep talk and really help him out. But when they try to find him, he's not depressed. He's like, I'm bad. Let me grind it. Like he's actually secretly practicing and getting better. It's like these things is like it flips it on the head. I think the national qualifying arc is one of the most beautiful arcs I've seen. The way she like depicts cultural performances, like she uses like math and like space, like showing it through, depicting it through like galaxies and stuff like that. It's amazing and really well done. My number two is a Sogui Lie Eater. Listen, man. I'll say this for three. Kono Oto is not completed. It's in the final arc. And this, and if I reread Osogui, it could be my number one because both of them are that good to me. Osogui, what can I say? I was here from the beginning when it started getting translated English, man. You know, I wasn't there. I'm not gonna be like one of those. I hate I hate what the fandom has become because a lot of these bums love just saying everything except the last two arcs are meh and the last two arcs are the only reason it's good. But I don't agree with that. I think the entire series is just that high level. Like the first arc ends with the MC pulling a Glock and posing before he shoots down the supposed main muscle, the main muscle of the arc. I love and Hinsley, like to me, like smart characters. To me, what I respect in smart characters aren't just for smart characters that were your plan always goes uh, uh to plan. You know, everything you do will go according to plan. It's when something might not go according to plan, but you can react to that and change the situation, which I think Baku Madara does insanely well. Like he'll have insane in-depth plans, but hey man, this doesn't happen, or there's a factor he doesn't consider that he has to do instead. And I like how unhingedly of a gambler is. Like a lot of his plans that he interacts with throughout the story hinge on one winning this random gamble. And if he doesn't win the gamble, his whole thing is fucking screwed. I love how unique these gambles are. Shout out to the Scan team because if they didn't explain a lot of these gambles, I wouldn't really understand it to the point thing. But yeah, this is also by Toshio Sako who did Batuk. This is his best work. His art style changed from the rough thing to do into the more beautiful ethereal thing. Is really good to see. And yeah,
It's really beautiful.
I need to rewatch it though. I reread it. I mean, I have to reread it because it might be number one. But my number one, man, what else is gonna be? It's Kingdom. It was my number one before. It's my number one now. It might be my number one in the future. I think I wasn't there when Pat talked about it, but okay, I know it was his number two. But the best binging experience I've ever had in manga. I love historical
It is a
manga.
very good binge read. Like,
Yeah, I love historical manga, and this is like the pinnacle of historical manga for me. Everything like Coalition War, that shit just hits like crack. Uh,
what you know about crack,
and
little
yeah,
nigga?
I need to reread and if I reread it properly, it might just stay there. But yeah, that's my top 30.
Run through bottom to the top.
30 is we're gonna start with 30, right?
Honorable mention.
Sorry. My honorable mention is Senator Sojo and the Duke of Death in his Black Maid. My 30 is Gamran. My 29 is Pluto. My 28 is Hatchbell. 27 is Blue Giant. 26 World Trigger. 25 Chikon Otoko. 24 Vinland Saga. 23 20th Century Boys. 22 Space Brothers. 21 Kaguya-sama. 20 Blue Period. 29, no, 19, my bad. Zom 100, Apocalypse of the Dead. 18, Tetsugaka, Letra. 17, Billy Bat. 16, Batu. 15, Monster. 14, Haikyuu. 13, Golden Kamuy. 12, Diamond Ace. 11, Twin Sharks, Exorcist. 10, Blade of the Mortal. 9, Magus of the Library. 8, Great Teacher Onizuka. 7, Doro Hidoro. 6, Koino Katachi. 5, Goodnight Punpun. 4, Oninani Master Kurosawa. 3, Kono Oto Tamare. 2, Osogui. And number 1, The Goat Kingdom.
And that is Lizard's top 30 people, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank,
Also in the comment section, you guys did it in the last video because I asked, but tell us what your favorite list was. I
it's
think some
mine,
people, I
but
think
what's your second favorite?
I think Simi's and Pass were winning in the last one, the last video, if I remember correctly. My number 3, wow, what a shock. More Nisio Ishii, Madaka Box. Y'all know where my favorite manga character of all time, Nazeyoki, aka Kujiro Kurakami, comes from. Griever said it earlier. The commentary that it has on being a shonen on Shonen Jump as a genre while being a Shonen Jump, and the satire and parody and the piss it takes out of it. Artwork is incredible. Bitches are fire. It got Misogi, Good Loser Kumagawa. It's all fiction. What the fuck you know about that, man? Real ice fire. Real despair. Shoto, come outside, Todoroki. You're a bum. Nazayoka will show you how it was done. Anyways, Wandering Emanon. I actually posted that today the fourth volume that I just got. You guys know how much I care about this eternal wanderer, this immortal being. The artwork is amazing. I think the story's fantastic. If you want to know what it's about in detail, I have a video on my channel and the various recommendations. You can check it out. One Piece, big shocker. Yes, One Piece is still my favorite manga, despite the issues that I have with it. Um, I think it would have to be Wano levels of uninteresting for 2 more years, for it to drop to 2, but it's still number 1 in my manga. And now I'm gonna run through everything real quick. The Forgetful Detective is my honorable mention. Number 30 last year was Mashal. I changed it to Al Ashi. Al Ashi has crashed the top 30. 29 is Blade of the Immortal. 28 is Tepu. Black Lagoon is 27. 26 is Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. Bless you. 25 is Beelzebub. 24 is Katek Yoshihitama. Ribon. 23, Prince of Tennis. 22, Maggie, Labyrinth of Magic. 21, Oni Master Kurosawa. 20, Tosagari Otome X Amnesia. 19 is Oretama. 18 is Ranma One Half. Why do I feel like did I talk about Ranma? I feel like
I
I skipped
think
it for some
Vince
reason.
is asleep.
No, I'm not.
Nine Tokowaru 17, Ibitsu from Okada Kusato is 16. 15 is Chikano Toko. 14 is A Girl by the Shore. 13 is Diane no Ace. 12 is Golden Kamui. Hetakoi at 11. My Gatekeeper is Good Ending at number 10. Nozoki Anna number 9. Akunohana number 8. We got Daiwell Gelder, Begeruta, whatever I say it. I'm not German. At 7. Crows at 6. Gintama at 5. Sundome at 4. Madaka Box 3. Wandering Emnon, Emeron's Wanderings at 2. And One Piece at number 1. And that is my top 30. Do you guys have anything to say to the people?
My list was the best, and whoever is second best is second best. But yeah, I'm thinking you're welcome for blessing you guys with the objective top 30 list. But yeah,
Griever?
I think that you guys are all awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of any type of list whenever Naya invites me to these things. It's always a blast. So thank you
I
very
liked
much.
everyone's list, honestly. I did.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
we all had a lot of uh overlap. So yeah,
Yeah.
great minds think alike type
All
shit.
right, Vince,
Type
hit the
B.
line.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, top guys out.
Yeah.